This is unbelievable. Can you believe they asked us to do this again?
Well, we were going to bring another commentator in other than me, and then they figured out it was going to have to be me, and so... So I just thought I had to use this.
You're just into the soundboard now, right? To kick the season off.
But we still have Coach McClure on, so
season number 2 starting right now. This is unbelievable. Well, here we are back with another paddle night in Chicago.
Beautiful.
Our second season starting now in the Chicago Leagues here on the North Shore from beautiful, historic Glenview Club. Nice enough of Jason Love to host us for the evening and let us take over his office, which he has to give up, I assume, basically 40 days a year between charities and league nights and nationals and all that kind of stuff. But he has the perfect setup, so we're lucky to be here tonight for sure. Jason, you want to say hi to the fans at home? Or do you just want to lurk? I'm good. You prefer to lurk? That's okay. A man after my own heart. The lurking in the background. Amazing.
Well, wait a minute. I got arrested for that, and they called it stalking. I don't...
Listen, let's not all flash back to college.
Okay, all right, fine. Just last week. Yeah, that's right. I'm a junior. I've got 3 more credits.
That's right. Someday you'll graduate. It'll be great.
Good enough.
Well, tonight we have Glenview Club Series 2 against Winnetka Park District Series 2. Got a little vibration at screen. I'm going to fix that, but that's exciting stuff. We have coming from the Glenview Club tonight, Ben McKnight and Pete Rose, who have played 1.6 million matches together. They are on the far side over there. Pete on the left side of the court, the deuce side, and Ben warming up on the ad side. And then over here, closest to the camera, we have Scott Mansager and Andrew Ong. I don't know Andrew very well, but Scott we've seen play for the last 57 years of paddle, which is pretty impressive because this is the 50th anniversary of Chicago paddle and charities coming up here. So the fact that he had been training for that long, he looks fantastic.
He does.
By the way, pretty amazing.
He's only a year younger than me.
At
84. And I'm just kidding. He's a really nice guy, and he's not that old.
We were talking about it in the hut in advance of the match, and we thought that the really interesting part about these guys is that there's about 9 national titles on the court, if you include, nationals and 45s and the whole deal. Basically how it works is Pete has 0, and Andrew has 0, and Ben has 1, and Scott has 8.
Well, it's a hardware store.
Yeah.
It's a hardware conglomerate.
Yeah, it's only awkward when he walks in with all the medals around his neck.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a step past Mr. T when it comes right down to it.
If he wore them all, he still would weigh less than I do. So, but Andrew's got. It wouldn't surprise me if Andrew's got a national title in some other racket sport because the guy's got some skills. I've seen him hit before, but I've never seen him play a full paddle match. So this is going to be real interesting. Yeah,
I think this is going to be a fun one. A whole bunch of experience on the court, and Andrew with youthful legs. So
no question about it.
It'll be exciting to see how it actually turns out.
We're still calling this warm weather paddle too, Coach, aren't we?
We are for sure. Jay, what's the definitive decision on when it becomes actual paddle weather? What do you think the temperature is?
I'd give it a 40-degree mark.
40s? I think I would agree with you there. I think it's rare to get it before late November.
Yeah.
Really,
was it Mike Raleigh or maybe Chris Warner that said that if you can see your breath,
then it's paddle weather?
Then it's paddle weather?
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. What if you're working out so hard that there's constantly steam coming off your body? Does that count? Because that happens to me when it's about 62 degrees.
I don't know. I don't like to look at my body at all, even if it's something coming off a body. Even like 2 or 3 feet away from the body, it's got to be. Anyway, but it's going to be good. And we do, as Cal mentioned, we do have the romantic comedy lights. String lights over.
I do like those.
Which are just they just set the mood as far as I'm concerned. I don't know, maybe I'm just
at any time Gerard Butler could come in and sweep us off our feet, right. Which is pretty much what I'm looking for in my everyday life as well. So
it's the Hallmark Glenview Club channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Yeah, so no, it's great to be back, and I got to tell you, it's such a beautiful club. Well, I was driving in, and I get, and I mean this sincerely, like a Bushwood thing going. Like, in other words, the course is so nice. Is that first hole right there, Coach Love? Is that first hole a par 5, by the way?
Par 4.
4. That's huge. No wonder I stink at golf. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, every time I play it, I'm able to get double par. So
You always were an overachiever.
yeah, that's what I'm going for.
But anyway, so
A
no,
new course record.
It'll be, it'll be interesting. Just these guys, and they're probably already in mid-season form. Some of them already, because they've probably had some practices already. I would think so, Coach. I mean, what do we have?
Although I will be totally honest with you that I do remember, with the exception of kind of my first season of like Series 1, Series 2 paddle, after that I was kind of maybe hitting once or playing a couple sets before the first match, and then you were just right into it.
Yeah, because you kind of, when you get into it, about 2 or 3 matches and you're already as good as you're going to be, probably.
Yeah. I know Pete and Ben, play a fair amount, and get into it for entertainment value.
Sure.
And but Scott, I mean, I don't know. He teaches a lot, and so
Yeah, it's
with
true.
the amount of time that he spends on the court as a teaching pro, he probably is
Yes.
okay playing a little bit less
now at
in
Northmore,
in
by the way.
between.
Yeah, now at Northmore Country Club. I was trying to think of the mascot for Northmore Country Club. Can't think of it off the top of my head, so we're going to say cheeseburgers. And because I don't know the Northmore cheeseburgers.
The North Shore Country Club Lynx, I think,
Lynx,
is
like
what
it. The
yeah.
Lynx.
Yeah.
With an X. Yeah.
Lynx,
Love it.
correct.
Love it. Used to be way back when a golf brand called Lynx, and it was
Oh, that
Anyway,
makes
yeah.
sense. I see what you did there.
Yeah, you're welcome. And so, look how much you missed me. Take Sean off the mic right now. So he's had it. That's it. We're done. I love how he tried to take that. Even in practice, he's going to take that high off the screen, off the backhand side. That's impressive. But yeah, the ball's going to fly a little bit tonight, just because it is a bit still comparatively warmer anyway. So I think you can see a little bit of fireworks, and the first volley is going to be interesting.
Yeah, you're gonna see a awful lot of volleys that just drift a little bit
Yes.
long. If
Yep.
somebody really blasts the ball, because it's just gonna be tough to
Yep.
to control it. You'll probably see a lot of transition play if somebody swings really big, just because it's easier to let it go through and take it off the screen.
No question.
I bet with these guys, if you really hit a good drive, the ball's going to come all the way back to the service line anyway, so
Won't have to move.
not a lot. Yeah, it was just,
That's the best way to warm up, I think, is not have to play
just
in
not
cold
moving
weather.
at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
Do
must
nothing.
be warming up for 22 hours a day.
Exactly. So, and then I won't see a lot of drop volleys, I would imagine, only because it's probably easier to run down in this weather, but you never know. But it'll be a good match, at least on paper, right? We just look at it that way.
All matches are good on paper, Sean. It's not until I actually play them does it all collapse.
Yeah. Sorry, I just had a flashback. My family would always tell me to go on the paper. I don't know what that meant back then, but it was more of a pet thing. I think they were talking about the dog. But anyway, yeah, this will be awesome. I'm trying to think the last time. Now wait a minute. Was Ben on the court the last time we did was he our last match from last year? Was Ben on the
I mean, I don't know. He might have been. You guys had to run
That's
that
right.
without me
I
towards
think
the
he
end
might-
of the season.
I think he might have been.
I was
this
busy
is-
having back surgery, so
Yes,
I
sir.
don't,
Yeah, well,
couldn't do it. Yep, that's Captain Mr. Selfish to you.
that wouldn't be the yeah. It's never been a good excuse, but we'll handle it. Anyway,
All right, well, we're going to get a little paddle spin action here and see who takes it.
I've noticed that. I do that too. A lot of
Are you okay
tennis
with it?
players
Okay, go
smack the center of their paddle like it's a string bed, But you can never just get away from doing that. It always makes me laugh. I think it's just a matter of
Yeah, it's just a racket sport thing.
Yeah,
it's like you
you
can't
just
get
hit
away
it.
from it. There's no
Exactly.
reason that you would tap your paddle like that on your hand.
no, it's so damn rough.
If you grew
anyway.
up playing paddle, it doesn't
Right,
make a lot of
it's-
sense.
you
But
you get scarred.
Right.
Basically, it's so rough. But anyway, Yeah, so this is going to be, and I'm gonna say it again. We're not going to talk about home court advantage yet because I wanted to save that for later.
Yeah, no, that's more of a
how
Sec 2
exciting, yeah,
type situation.
That's a sexier thing later, yes. So we're going to leave that there. But no, I was talking about the lighting is just phenomenal here. And I'm not saying that because I just came from teaching a little while back at the Lakeshore Country Club, where the lighting might not be
quite as LED driven.
No, but it's still phenomenal. You know, and phenomenal is a subjective term. Anyway, so we're ready to go. It looks like Andrew's going to serve first. What's this stretching out stuff? I don't know what that means.
I don't know, but they're getting good at it.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
This is the difference maker here with high-level paddle players versus not, is how you handle the opening of a match.
Yes.
Do you look like an athlete? Are you sort of stretching and bouncing around? Is there some opportunity to talk strategy?
Yeah, no
Did
question.
you wear your tight shorts or just your very tight shorts? You know,
Nobody wants
these
to
are the
see
questions that everyone
Yeah.
has to decide when we get started. All right, here we go. Firing it up. Andrew to serve.
Oh, look at that.
Quick one to let through.
Oh, and he let it go. Good
Yep.
thinking. Man, that
Tough
thing is
ball there.
flying. I tell you what.
Yeah,
By
it's
the way,
gonna
all
move.
my shorts are tight. Just I want to
It's
make
going to
sure you
move
know
quite a
that.
bit.
Going back to that. But anyway. Good hand sit.
Yeah,
There we
that.
go.
There's that drift volley
Exactly.
that's not going to come down at this
On cue.
temperature very often.
Are you a genius broadcaster or what? I'm just in awe.
Years of practice.
A little miscommunication there.
Yeah,
But that's just, hey, you know what?
good little
He's
lob
young.
location.
He's young. He's got great strokes. Let's give him a break. You know?
Yep, letting it go through. Smart.
Nice big sit. I should love that's called motivation.
Yeah.
Getting over there for that volley.
You're going to have a lot of like little 3/4 court retreat happening where you
Absolutely.
try to sell that you're bailing out and try to get somebody to slow it down. I
No
can see
question.
that.
Vintage.
dippy
McKnight,
drive there.
dippy. And I don't
And I
mean
think
that
we've
in a
got
bad
first
way.
game there
Yes.
to Pete and Ben.
Exactly. And we don't say, when we say dippy, we don't mean that in a bad way. Usually that sounds like you're insulting somebody, but that, yeah, that wasn't, that's not what we
Not
meant.
yet, Sean.
No, that
maybe
wasn't-
maybe in the third game we could start insulting.
I've been called that
players.
before, so I just wanted to make sure I made the distinction. But that was a great topspin backhand from Ben for the break, by the way.
Ben's specialty.
Yes. Oh, they're already signaling. That's, you know what, this is early in the season, and again, as I said, mid-season form. It's a good dig. Look at that.
The inverse.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Nice
I don't know
screen
if it's not
drive.
just
He's
straight
there.
A corner cam?
Up. Oh, that's a nice lob.
Nice.
Bless you over there.
Thank you.
So we're on the air doesn't mean we can't be courteous.
Good dig.
Here we go. Now it's a paddle point. I'm talking 21 shots already. This is 22. I love how he stepped up for the
sneaky
drive.
move.
I know. He's quick too. I didn't even see him moving. Kind of like sped up the film there. For those of you who've taken lessons from either me or how did he get away
Wow.
from that?
Got that
Either
one
me,
to
either
dip,
me or
didn't
Coach Matt, we say don't leave the deck on the overhead. You know, the fact that maybe Ben's doing that doesn't necessarily mean he's leaving the deck completely. He's got a better vertical than that. He's not necessarily, 3 feet off the ground.
I just meant don't leave the deck unless you're really, really good.
Exactly.
I should
See,
always
thank
add
you.
that caveat.
You know what? That's a probably more simple way of putting it, and I just am not eloquent enough to figure it out. It's a great overhead and a better lob. Tell you what's so funny, the better the overhead to Scott, the better his lobs are. That's really annoying when you play somebody
It
like
always is annoying when.
that. I know. It's like he's just. I mean, and I mean that in a very complimentary way. I don't mean he's.
When every shot is better than the last, you're
Exactly.
like, oh, why
That's
are we
what-
still
come
doing
on.
this?
Yeah. It's like bleeding to death. I love the
Ooh,
idea.
sneaky
I
move.
tell you what, we got another break point here, if I'm not mistaken.
Andrew coming up with it. I believe so.
Love 40.
That's a great
dig.
pick as well.
It's going to work. I thought we had one out for a second there.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Solid patience, though, from Andrew to not jump on any of those balls
Exactly.
that come out a little far from the screen.
Yeah, it's a great point, Coach. If I had his drive, I'd try to drive every single ball.
Right, just be going after it all the time. That's
smart.
a good little waterfall there. Sneaky ball.
Get out, get out.
Yep.
They are earning this
Yep.
speed. Yeah. Nice pick.
Man, it's just so tough when it gets warm like this because you don't. There's so much. There's just less penalty.
Yes,
Good
there we
dig
go.
there.
That's it.
There's less penalty for the short lob.
Exactly.
You know, like as long as you're willing to grind, it's really tough to kill a ball.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, in a warm weather paddle, you probably see more breaks to serve, Coach, don't you think?
I
Just
would
because
agree.
of that?
I would agree, but it's got to be close. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still paddle stats are in
Paddle
that like
stats, right.
barely. You know, serving and holding is barely above 50%.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was just thinking because you'll see a lot more screen returns and you'll see a lot more. And sometimes the serving team's not really ready necessarily for that. They're ready for something off the deck most of the time.
Let's take a look at it. I'll just not use it.
So it's 1-1.
I
Again,
don't know why, 'cause it's not like it's.
this match leading up to the billing right
Like
here.
this is just changing camera. No, I appreciate it. Who's that from?
All right, Scott Manser going to serve.
Well, that's a
big
cannon of a
drive.
backhand there.
Nice. Yeah, you don't usually see that kind of pace off that side, Coach. It's impressive. And they're going Aussie. Oh, you can call that an eye, I suppose.
Both backhands coming in here. They're
Yes.
gonna have some heat on them.
He went after it again.
Yeah.
Why not? You know, if I could drive the ball like that.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good look at it.
Sure did. Caught the tape. Measure those nets
Not a bad
immediately.
opportunity. See what he does here with this
15
return.
all.
I assume he continues to swing. It's not like. It's not
Just
like
sounds
the
funny when
return
you say
isn't
it that way, but
something
yeah, he just went after it.
a little
You
bit.
know, yeah, maybe a little more top. Of course, I would say that, right? So 30-15.
Affirmative.
Man, those are young legs. Man, he moved over in a crouch like that. That's impressive. Usually got to get up and do that. Great return.
Yep, it's another one.
So 30 all. Again, a serving test.
You'll start to see that too in warm weather paddle as well, where you get so paranoid about pushing first volleys long that you'll
Yeah.
try to be too careful
Yes.
with controlling the pace, and
Less is
then
more.
a little mishit turns into a ball
That's
on the
good. Oh,
tape.
that's a big return.
Great ball. Nice transition there.
He's there.
Yep, lots of time.
Unbelievable. That did come off in a weird way. It wasn't even a seamer, but and I'm bailing Scott out on that one. But that did kick off in a weird way, so that wasn't necessarily Scott.
Kicked off a turtle shell.
Like it. I always love that image right there. Turtles don't get enough love anyway. Yeah,
Good hands, great volley. Starting to get the spin going in the warm
No
weather
question.
ball when you can
No, I was
really
just gonna say that.
really grip it.
Serious rotation here. Oh
It's
yeah.
a nice spot to find the corner there.
That's a national championship overhead right there.
that's right there. That's how you win the championship.
Jesus. I mean, talk about clutch. He's down break point. Hits a nick. It's impressive.
Yep.
All right, we're back to deuce here. He's got it.
Nice. Great dig on the transition as well.
Awesome transition. Oh, see, I would have been wuss bag and let that go, but you know what? Mr. Rose has got more courage.
Little seam, able to dig it out.
Get over.
Oh, that's ball's
nice.
gonna have a lot on it.
Sneaky. That's impressive. That'll make the highlights right there. All right, another break point down here. Let's see how they respond. Mansinger and Ning. He went after it.
Yeah.
Again, if I
Looking
had his
for the
backhand,
big
I probably
swing on
would
that
too,
one.
but he didn't miss it by much. That was a nice serve by Scott, by the way. Curling it into the line like that. Back to deuce. Yeah. Some fancy footwork there.
Great
Fred
dig.
Astaire over there for the...
Can they keep him buried?
Let's get lob. Oh, that's a tough shot.
Yeah, great volley though.
I know. Yeah.
Ooh, sneaky.
Very. That's just again,
Yeah, just
almost the same carom.
Just getting that ball to die
Yeah.
in the side screen like that.
Amazing. Seriously, almost the same exact carom that he had last time that he had muffed it before. So one more time for a break point here. Good volley.
Yep, great pick.
He takes it off the deck. It's going in.
Yeah,
Oh, beauty.
nice lob.
Oh, what a great rally.
Oh, that's a tough spot
Yeah,
to pull
no question about it.
that forehand just with a little flip cross court like that to put
Exactly.
it in.
I don't know, Coach, we always talk
Put
about
it in
hit
Pete's
that right
pocket.
hip for the right-hander, right hip for the right-hander. You know, I was like, I'm just worried about
That
getting
sounds
it back,
familiar.
Coach.
I think I had that coach.
Did you? Yeah.
I think it was John Irvin.
Probably. Come on, Matt. Yeah. And Sean for them. Oh, get it. He's there.
Nice dig.
Look at this pick. Yeah.
Yep. Making it work in transition. These guys are going to switch immediately. Smart.
He just
Little
missed
back.
it. He just missed it. I thought it was going to curl in there. I tell you what, a colder day, or night, I should say, and that would have been in there. Okay, break point like number 4. That's my own little personal stat. I'm not sure if I got it right, but we're going to say it's 4.
Sure.
We'll go with that.
12.
He's taking his cuts, though.
Yeah.
It's amazing considering it's a serve down the tee, and he's still taking it off the backhand side.
Yeah, there are very few reasons to not drive the return
Yes.
when you're dealing with this temperature. I guess if a ball's got so much action on it that you feel like you're not
Right.
making clean contact or you're shanking it, but otherwise
Exactly. That was a
that was
great
just a
screen
little bit
drive.
back.
For what they're talking about, he's got some surprising power, like off that backhand side does Mensinger. It's amazing because it didn't look like he could hit the ball that hard, and man, he just roped that one. So how we get a point for
Well,
a
he's
whole,
been working out.
a whole year. He looks fabulous, by the way. Never seen him before. And his same
And they're
serve.
getting away with that serve
Did.
down the tee
It
as
was.
everybody wants to hit their backhand return,
No question. That was solid.
which I
hole.
get. If it's that strong a shot, of course you want to, but sometimes a really good serve is going to jam you up just slightly.
No question.
Just enough to be a potential issue. Sean, now's a good time to mention that we have sponsors for
That's
the
right.
live stream, which is very exciting. We've got Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, IBJI,
Yes.
is one of our big sponsors. Wintrust
Oh, and
is
you know
on the
what?
list
Didn't realize
this year,
Wintrust
as
was on
is
the list.
Viking Paddle.
Really?
Yeah, pretty
That's
exciting
phenomenal.
stuff. Yeah, it was as we get into it a little bit here for the season. We're going to hear more from our sponsors as we go, and set up some calls and get them involved in stream. But
Phenomenal.
it's going to be good. It's going to be good season. Have a little extra action going. What a pick!
I know.
Got it.
That's such a great shot.
He's just mobile.
Another one.
That's going to be a trouble. No, he's there.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, it's funny we talk about L.R. and bone and joint because I probably would need 3 or 4 surgeries if I had to try this, to try doing that. But that's impressive.
I think the key is basically just to have a surgery and then see how it goes. Like if you think there's even a chance. Wow, I'm really liking that backhand.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's true.
I would say if anything, Andrew's backhand just has a little bit of the tell, like
Yeah,
you can
right.
see the windup. Great
Yep.
pick off the screens. Way to play it as a team. But I don't think it's a bad thing if you're bringing,
No.
if you're bringing heat on it. It
No.
just might be, people might just
That
be
was
a
a nice
little,
little fake there.
aware of it.
Yeah. No, you're right though. Most of the time it's difficult. I think it's almost impossible unless you wind up with 2 hands.
Nice.
You always look at a pick.
That's the fourth nick of the point.
Yeah.
Pete and Ben starting to find their groove on the overheads when they're
question
starting to
about
target corners.
For those of you playing at home, did you see where
Target corners a little
Scott
more.
Mansinger was on that nick shot? He was there to make the shot, which most people just kind of just leave your partner alone there. He was in perfect position just in case the nick shot came into the center like it can do, and he was there. Just missed the shot, but he was definitely there to cover.
Yeah, you got to play corners as a team. That ball goes hard into the corner. You gotta make the shift, especially when it's warm like this.
Yeah, he's just automatic. What a drive.
Wow,
What a drive.
nice.
That is just not easy to do.
Great transition play there.
No question.
from
That was a
Pete.
great move from Andrew. He had too good a shot.
Well, that's another, I'm going to call that another warm weather difference, right?
Yes,
Where
yes.
somebody hits a great drive, the other team
was good.
lets it go through,
Right.
and then all of a sudden you're like, should I be even coming in on
Right,
this? Like if
exactly.
they're going to get,
That's gonna
if they're
work.
going to get a look, that was great touch for the
Yeah.
middle there.
There really was.
But if they're going to get a look to take a full swing back, you're just, any
You're like,
momentum
what's the
that
point?
you still have
Yeah,
is going to
sometimes
catch
what's the
you.
point? Well, you're either that or you better get ready pretty quickly.
Yeah,
That was a great serve. He
yeah. Ben
handled
just
it.
really going for the nick, even on the serve, just trying to kick balls in there.
Good lob.
That's
It's a great drive.
backhand.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to say the two
Very
handers.
Marat Safin.
Oh, it's very good because he's got the right.
He's
little,
got his
like,
left leg
snap.
up in the air a little bit.
Yeah.
His left wrist
No
is
question.
kind of,
Little scissor kick almost.
yeah, his left wrist is kind of inverted as he, nice try.
No question.
Great lob location there, just causing a little bit of confusion for Pete and Ben.
Now, speaking of which, you were saying, the disguise on the two-hander, it's very difficult to do that when you have a one-handed backhand kind of dig/lob.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So it's like
But
that's amazing
sneaky
right
as
there.
well.
Yeah.
All right, so
All right,
that's a
so we're
game
at
there for
3-1.
Scott and Andrew.
That's right. They're up 3-1. That's a great return.
Yeah. Smart.
I like the idea, though. It's just I don't know if it's easy to do in this kind of weather. What do you think, Coach? Like taking a swipe at one of those, knowing that you're
Yeah,
gonna get
it's a
over?
little tough, and I think that's one that you're gonna have to test a little bit if Andrew really gets comfortable with his
Unbelievable
backhand.
speed. Yes.
Nice speed. If you start putting a little bit more on your overhead that would just go right at somebody, trying to catch
Exactly.
them in a shift, and that one was just a little too much. Where
Exactly.
They put enough pace on it, and Andrew got caught late with this transition to offense.
All right, 15 all. I love
that.
the poke.
Love that
Love it.
screen drive.
Oh, you're
Oh,
kidding.
he's there. Good poke
Totally.
from Ben as well.
That was going to fall, so it's good that he took that one.
Yeah.
All right, that was an entertaining point. So 15-30. Little opportunity here for Rosen McKnight. Oh, we're releasing on that one. 30 all. And again, he's missing in the tape. It's not like he's missing it by much there. Oh, yeah.
Nice move.
He's there, though.
Yeah. Let's go dig that out. They're going to switch here.
It's funny, sometimes the short lobs in the warm weather aren't even that short. It's not that big a deal. That's some nice height. Oh, what a shot.
Nice play.
Missed it.
Yeah.
Close.
Same thing. That's just a really tough ball to convert.
Yeah, especially in this weather.
I bet it gets a little bit colder and those start to drop for
Right,
Andrew,
right.
but the ball just has a little bit more energy as it's rising off the deck,
Yep.
and it just makes it tough.
Very difficult. And taking
time.
that big a swing, too. You're right. It's good reset. No, it's good. It's good patience here.
This is where you start to see where Scott has the national championships, where he will go into a zone here where all he will do is lob
Yes.
and fake the drive to lob.
Exactly.
Like, he's just gonna not, he feels
Sure.
the investment in the point.
Sure.
He, knows that, this is a game point for Pete and Ben, and he's just gonna lob until somebody gets.
It's funny you say that because every so often he will. And just to keep him honest, but for the most part, yeah, you're right. He's feigning it. If anybody's probably driving more, it's probably Andrew.
Yeah, but his lob is definitely one of those reasons for his success.
Look at that.
And for him in particular, when he's decided that all he's going to do is lob, his lob gets that much better.
Yep.
He starts. That's a tough.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a tough ball to go after.
especially on a game point. But
All right.
makes it even more exciting. Now we're at 2-3.
2 serving
So
3.
Rosa McKnight will serve to tie it back up if they can.
Here's a fun conundrum here for you guys in live stream land that I'll share with you just because I think it's interesting. All I can think of is that while people were walking in, somebody stepped on the controller of this camera angle because it's inverted. Everybody's left-handed on this camera
Is that
angle.
right?
Yeah, and it's not the switcher that we're using because all that does is pipe through the feed. So all I can think of is that somebody stepped on that
Wow.
controller and
These guys are so
it
talented.
adjusted they can play righty and lefty.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
amazing.
That's crazy.
It is amazing.
I mean, that's what happens at Series 1. That's how good they are. They don't need
It's
to-
okay. We're good with the 2 cams for right now. We'll take a look at it in between sets.
He played
Nice
it. What a
dig by
sportsman.
Scott.
I mean, I'm just telling you,
Yeah,
most of
that's
the guys
close.
I play
That's
with.
close, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, definitely not at Lakeshore necessarily, but most of the guys I play with call that wide. So, again, McKnight and Rose serving at 2-3. First point of the game here. Once again, if you just joined us, we are at Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois. Beautiful, historic Glenview Club. I'm Sean Albrecht. This is Matt McClure.
Outside of ever traveling to Glenview Club, I was unaware that Gulf was a town.
Yes.
Just saying, it's a fun fact. I feel like I've lived in the Chicago area for a long time,
Still didn't know.
and I don't think anybody's been like, "Can you go pick it up for me? It's in Gulf."
Well,
And it just means that I'm picking up a paddle from Jason Love.
that's right. That stayed in.
Ooh, picked it. Nice. Great
Love
move.
the idea.
Good recovery ball on the dig as well.
Oh, you
that
have to
is
be
tough.
kidding me. You will take it.
That is not how
You disguise an overhead.
that is
No.
not how you want a point to end in that sequence. That's not true. Ben's okay with it. He's like, I was trying to hit it soft, and if it happens to hit the tape, then double
He
bonus.
sends a thank you note later. It's not a big deal.
Right.
Or an apology. Thank you for apologizing.
That was a cool angle there.
It was.
I should bookmark that. I bet that if Pete really cracks a serve, he could get the screen to flex into the camera. I mean, he'd have to really hit it, but he'd have to really crank it, but I bet it's possible.
He can move it. He could do it too. He can hit it, so. For our sake, hope he doesn't, because maybe that'll invert that one. We'll have two inverted cameras in one. Oh, it's a great drive. Jesus. Got ahead of that one. Andrew with some serious talent there coming off the screen. Beautiful backhand.
Yep.
I think we're looking at
Smart.
30 all here.
You love to see that. Refusing to hit a bad toss. Totally worth it. Turned out to be a great serve. See this transition here. Nice play.
He was there this time. Not on my watch. Wow,
Yeah.
that's not easy to do, jumping like that.
Yeah. I think Ben and Pete collectively as a team might be more comfortable closer to the net than,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, they get such range.
than
It's
so many other teams.
Yeah.
I know all great teams are willing to step up and make a volley, but
Yeah, but they got
it is
hands.
always interesting to see how when they see the drive coming, it's just there's, you
a
know,
wall.
nowhere to go with your actual
Absolutely.
shot.
Nice. Yeah, he's just a machine over there, as Mansinger. There's a good-looking lob. Dude, we got some high quality rallies here. Not many short lobs and not many short overheads for drive opportunities. And yes, it's a warm weather condition, so you're probably like, oh,
The off-speed push
yes.
is what gets you.
No, I'm not saying anything, because if you see my backhand volley, I won't, you know, we already know what that looks like, so I will not say a thing.
John, you really prefer the forehand volley, don't you?
It's the only one I have.
Nice.
That's a great shot.
Great
Wow.
roller,
Talk
great
about a
kick.
disguise right there, Coach. Oh,
Oh, that's so tough.
that was impressive. You got away with that. And it is like a Friends episode every time we go into that ad corner with the romantic comedy lights. I just
Are
get such
we
a nice
at,
vibe. This is deuce again, no?
Yeah, I think we're at deuce.
Yep, absolutely.
Great volley.
Yeah.
Solid
Mansinger
return
just put
from
top
Scott
spin on
as
that
well.
lob that was that high. That's impressive.
Andrew's really starting to feel comfortable with that.
He is.
Like with backhand, just kind of. He'll go one or two.
Speed. Nice. God, it's not easy to do either.
There you
Another
go.
nick.
Going at the
He's
nick
there
now.
again. And again, those of you watching at home that have to manage the nick when it does get there, just notice how well positioned those two are on that side. Just they're always they don't. Well, there you go. Now that's not something you could do much about.
That's
just
a good
perfect
shot. That's just a great shot.
But they were both in position. That's the bottom line. Especially Andrew moving over. Okay, so add in here for Rose and McKnight to pull even at 3-all.
Good volley.
What a touch. Get out of town.
Wow.
Unbelievable. That would have done something to the camera if it was on this side.
We lucked out.
No
we lucked
question.
out that
Yes,
the
we
tripod
did.
was
Yes,
on the
we
other
did,
side.
yeah. No question about it.
Starting to really put some action on the overhead as well.
Nice. Not easy to do. That's a nice shot.
Sneaky ball.
Very.
Deuce
Back
number
to
97. No, I'm totally keeping track. Don't look it up. Deuce 97.
Oh, my scorecard didn't say that, but I can't count. Go.
Buried.
It does not
Buried
come up
with
for
that
air.
volley.
That thing just stayed underwater, man.
Snowboards.
Yeah. It's a great shot from McKnight. And that earns them a quick, anyway, add in again to pull even at 3. Good hands.
Yep, great dig.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sneaky
He's
move.
there.
What a pick.
So,
Oh, man.
impatience. Just
Tough.
slightly. It's again, if I had his drive, I'd probably try the same thing. But I like to deuce 98, I guess. Deuce 98.
I mean, it's so difficult to rein it in when you feel like you have
Yep.
somebody off balance and like there's
Yep.
an opportunity.
Good eye.
And you just feel like, oh, if I can just put this ball on somebody, they're not quite prepared. And then
Exactly.
by forcing it yourself, you make the error. It's
No,
tough.
exactly. All right. Add in for the 14th time here. See what we get. See what. It's like shooting a movie. Oh, it's a great shot. He's
Yeah,
there, though.
great
Yeah.
return.
Sit.
That is going to drift.
Wow. Once again, I don't want to be that guy, the broken record, warm weather paddle. That ball is not going to hit even the baseline in cold weather. Good
Deuce
eye.
number 106.
Add 115 here. I don't know how you get both.
It's
It
amazing.
should be the other way around. I don't have you more than
They've
that.
played
but
so long that math is
should
broken.
It should be more deuces than adds. But good hands again. How did he get that angle from there? He's just playing with him. Unbelievable. You know what? He deserves
rare
it.
pull.
Yeah.
Rare pull from Scott.
So he leaves the deck
To
and he
miss
hits an
that.
angle shy of the service line going to the ad side and then goes the same way to the deuce side and induces
Yeah.
an
And that's
error.
a tough one for Scott too. We've all been there where like he hasn't had the opportunity to drive,
No.
many balls, and
No.
that one came out so far that he
Yep.
was like, "How can I not drive this?"
Yep.
And then just sort of lack of reps.
I almost feel like he was in the midst of having to drive anyways, like he just committed himself.
Great hands.
Sit.
Just a little bit
slight
tough.
miscommunication
Great lob
there.
location.
Totally. Just gonna
Great
say
lob
that.
location causing a small problem.
Yep. He said 5-0, I think was what he meant, not necessarily 5-all. It's good. Really good looking backhand.
Yep.
Speaking of which,
It's another good looking
it's
back.
in there.
Made it
It's
work.
tough.
Made it work.
Good shot. Good communication.
Oh. I think Ben saw that early and he
Yep.
wanted it to come right to him, and I
Yep.
think it moved just enough to get there quick. He kind of
Yep.
was like, "Oh, I got to read on this one."
Right, and he wasn't able to take a comfortable swing. So Good hands.
What a rip.
I know.
Nice dig.
Great lob. You're not going to see very many drop volleys.
I have a theory about Pete's game a little bit, and I want to talk to him about it because I wonder
Just
if he,
out.
yeah, just a little deep. I wonder if he does it on purpose. But there are moments where Pete takes a step, and you're like, oh look, I think he's in trouble. He's not in trouble.
No.
I just feel like he occasionally makes a move where you're like, oh, he seems like maybe I should put
that's
that
a
next
good
ball
point.
on him, and then he's like, nah, I'm fine. I'm just gonna drive it.
That's a really good point.
It's really
I
interesting
know.
because there's so many times where I've put 2 in a row into pretty good spots, and he seems like he's in trouble, and then all of a sudden the next ball is being driven at me, and I'm
Right.
like, hey,
Like,
wait a minute,
wait a minute, where did that come
you
from?
looked like
Yeah.
you were
Right.
considering falling over, but that was just an act.
That's against the rules. I'm sorry. You got to leave.
That's against the rules.
I don't like it when people do that. Oh yeah. Nice get.
Great
Sit
ball.
down. Maybe. He got it.
I can't believe that
Unbelieve
worked.
He got it. How did he get?
Jeez, what a dig. All right, 4-3. If you're just joining us, we're an hour in here to our first live stream of Paddle Night in Chicago,
Yep.
Series 2 from Glenview Club. This one is looking as though it's going to go the distance as we are only at 4-3 after
Yep.
48 minutes of play.
No question about it.
Everybody's swinging away.
Yeah.
Just
you know
hard
what?
to put balls away when it's 73 degrees.
Is that what it is?
I have no idea. I'm just throwing that out
No,
there.
no.
but,
I think you might be right on the
I mean,
money
it was
there.
78 when I drove here. I can't imagine a meteorological event that would have put it in the 50s at
We're
this
gonna
point.
give it- I'm gonna
I'm
see.
comfortable and doors open. Let's put it that way.
No, I think you're right. I'm checking.
Just a little deep.
It's a
Wow.
One-hander for a guy who has a two-hander. Look at this.
Wow.
Went in.
Got it.
All right, it's 60 degrees.
Is it?
Yep,
Wow, that's amazing.
I know. It feels warmer than that.
What is it, October?
Look at that. There you go. Cal's a little slow on the uptake.
Yeah, it's like, I see what you did there. Oh, such sneaky transitions here. It's a good roller there from Pete.
Totally.
Haven't been seeing a ton of rollers in the match, partially because everybody's lob is on point.
Yep.
So you're not getting as many looks, but
Sure.
Yep.
Besides that, if you want to take a chance on
There
one,
you go.
which some people want to hit a roller
starting
kind of
to see
hard,
it.
you can't hit the roller as hard in this weather.
Yeah,
It flies.
yeah, it'll come out too level.
No.
And I actually am kind of curious if Andrew wouldn't like it if you started hitting some rollers with the way that he likes to kind of snap drives off
Yes.
the screen.
Yep.
He might like the height
Yeah,
of
it's
a
true.
roller.
It's true.
That's a really good lob
Yeah,
to
especially in this weather. Ball's going to kick up a little higher.
push Pete off the net there.
Might be able to drop into a strike zone. He can take little bit over a cut. Oh, sicko. No, he was there too.
Oh,
That's the
almost
sick thing.
had
That would have
it.
been a winner
Careful.
anywhere else, but I believe that Andrew was there, which is crazy. All right, so that's wow.
It's the best it's gonna get.
Okay, so we're at 5-3, serving for the set.
Yep.
I'm assuming that was long. I didn't hear a call on it, so we're gonna.
I thought it was deep. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna call it 5-love or 15-love, I should say. It's great.
What a
kick.
great serve. Good return too.
Good touch. Good touch on that
Always
volley.
a unique element with playing Pete and Ben in these situations when both of them love their backhand,
Yeah, that is
drive.
Yeah.
and so you kind of see the adjustments in tactics when such a smart move by.
Nice dig
Andrew
from
there.
Ben. Oh. So he makes the most difficult one, and then one that's not kind of nets it. That's too bad. He deserved better than that. We got a set point here. 40 love.
Oh,
unbelievable.
Little let cord clipper. Another great shift there from Pete to set that up early.
Huge backhand. 40-15 still set point for Mansinger and Ning.
Nice play.
Wow.
Nice drive. Getting that
There's
through.
to your point right there. Really didn't have to move for that. Such warm weather, ball just comes right back off. Maybe move back to the service line. You can take the one. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a good swing there to finish the set off.
And you know what? That's only ever so fitting that he finishes it off with that shot anyway.
All right,
What a great
6-3,
set.
good first set. We're going to do a quick promo from our sponsors. And we'll be back with set number 2 at Glenview Club right after this.
From the heart of Chicago up to the North Shore and stretching from the northwest suburbs down to Kankakee. From urgent in-office care to virtual in-home visits, we're making orthopedic care available wherever and however you need it. Because while we're adapting our lives to keep each other safe, we know that new injuries will happen and old injuries will still linger. And IBJI is here to help.
Illinois Bone and Joint Institute is the best choice for orthopedic care. Our walk-in ortho access clinics provide treatment by orthopedic specialists without a trip to the ER. With evening and weekend hours, we provide your family with excellent care when it matters most. Visit ibji.com to find an ortho access immediate care clinic near you.
Okay, set number 2. We have a legend out here, Dave Peleus, giving some coaching advice to his top team. It's always nice to see him out there on the court. Scott Mansinger, not quite as much of a seasoned veteran as Peleus is. A little bit younger, I think. But
Dave can still bring it, though.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bring in the heat.
That's right.
All right, you're going to bear with us for a minute here as we get into it while Cal goes to work on that other camera real quick, Cal.
Cal, just make sure you be careful of the gobo when you go out the door. So we probably should be mentioning the other sponsors too. Going backwards, I would say Viking paddles is some of the best paddles you'll ever play with. Matter of fact, they're so... Cal's giving us a nice signal there. It's pretty easy to see Cal. That's not because he's heavy. So,
Let's see if we can get a little bit.
because if we get like a windy day, we won't see him out there. He'll be hanging on a flagpole or something. But anyway, so like I think they have a new line, and one of them's called the Axe. Wasn't the Viking Axe one of the new paddles? I think it was. Interesting, though. I think one of the most, I want to say the most popular would be a Reignite, which I think just about everybody that's ever played paddle might have played with a Reignite. Am I wrong? Okay, nobody wants to tell me, but that's okay. I'm just going to answer myself there.
Every single person
Probably,
has played
thank you,
with a
man.
Reignite.
I would think so. Reignite or Reignite Pro.
And it's not particularly close.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, it's not the same anymore. There's a lot. I mean, you got an entire different brand out there tonight. But I'm just saying, you know, for classic paddles, there's nothing like a Viking. And my whole career, man, I think I can tell you, like, Reignite Pro most of my career.
There
which
you
is
go,
not-
Cal.
All right, so we're going to start the second set here. ready to go. Even though we're going to work, this is how professional we like to be. We're going to work out the technical kinks.
We like to roll.
That's right. As we
like
go.
we like to fly by the seat of our pants.
That's right. Matter of my case, I really loaf. I don't really fly anymore. I used to fly it.
Nice.
Love the indecision there. He was going to hit a backhand volley, but he
Nice,
switched to a
good pick.
forehand. I know, it's impressive. That usually doesn't work out. Good lob. Good Lord. Nice.
Great stuff.
Sit. He caught it.
Wow. Good move.
Oh,
Oh, so tough.
establishing themselves early with that topspin drive. He is putting a little more top, and that is Andrews putting a little more topspin on the ball now.
Yep. Can
I
you go
noticed.
back in there and we'll do this one real quick?
A little long with the serve. That happens. You know, coming back out there after the first set. Gotta get your rhythm back. He's there. You know, they say that sometimes, oh, it's a great drive. Sometimes in great location. Again, right hip there, courtesy of John Irvin. But, you know, they say sometimes half of speed isn't really even your foot speed. It's the quickness or how quickly you recognize. So when I say, boy, you better recognize, that's what I mean. That's what I mean, yeah. Just in case somebody was wondering what I meant when I say that. I was trying to
Boy, you better
You
recognize.
better recognize. That's what I mean. Yeah, look at that. Oh, now he's putting even more top on it. That goes over. That's snapping down, though. That is what we call nasty.
Sorry, whose point was that?
That was McKnight and Rose.
30 all?
Point. Yep, 30 all.
30 all.
Good volley.
Gotta love it. Cal, thanks for working your magic during the live stream, my friend.
That's impressive, yeah. I mean, it might be a stretch to call it magic, but you know what? That's what we're going to say.
I have no problem with calling it magic.
All right, well, good enough. I think it is. Magic with a J. I-K. Magic. So we'll call it that. What a drive. Man, he just makes that look so easy. That's not easy to do. Especially as a two-hander, kind of a one-handed scoop out of the corner like that.
Cal, magic spelled M-A-J-I-K can be your rap name.
Yes.
Ooh.
Magic cow.
He got it. That is
Oh.
just such a tough lob to put it on
was.
the line there.
And a break
from
point
Scott.
for the opening game here for Mansinger and Ning. And let's just see if they can capitalize. Great serve.
Yep, great ball.
We're trying to keep the Sunday images out of the
I mean, it's right there.
All right, fought it back to deuce here. Again, opening game. They're being tested, but they seem to be hanging. It's another great serve
I
from
feel like we've
Rose.
had an awful lot of deuce games.
Oh, there's no question. Not like when I used to lose 0-0, and I would say every game went to deuce. This is actually the actual real
Yes,
thing.
Sean, but every game did go to deuce.
Well, when you're point shaving when you're a kid, you need the money. You just you would lose a few points, win a few points just to make sure
You know, when you're playing junior tennis and the mob comes in and says, "We've got a lot of cash on this. I want to see a certain result."
That's right.
And you're like, "Fine, I can lose 0-0, but have every
Yeah.
game go to
But
deuce."
I'm not going to make any bad calls. Great.
Nice move.
It's good hands. In there.
Andrew now making an effort to
Beautiful
lull
lob.
them into a false sense of security.
Yeah, he's getting the range on the light lob, as they say.
Trying to bait Scott a little bit
He's
with
there.
that ball.
Nice,
Good
nice
pick.
flex.
Yep. Another great dig. Solid.
Yeah, he's just a machine. Oh, yeah.
Goal got a
Again.
seam. Got a seam off the back screen and kicked right at Scott's face. Not the ball he was looking for.
You know what I'm going to say, because I haven't been able to say it all night. That's kind of a home court advantage.
Home court
right
advantage, yeah.
HCA, you betcha.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think that's what it's all about.
you bet.
They are not a sponsor, but I love them as a business nonetheless.
I just caught that on the uptake. Just slowing the uptake, Coach. Sorry about that one. That was brilliant. Hey, sit down. Good first volley. Back to deuce, by the way. Bounce. In there. Gosh.
Got it.
Heat-seeking.
Oh, and he
What
made it in
a
transition
screen
again.
Drive. McKnight just pulling off a little bit magic night of his own. Magic night, anyway. So that's a horrible. Just take me off the air right now. That was really bad. Sorry. Boy.
Don't worry, Sean. They've already taken us off the air.
What a get.
This is no longer live.
That was a great serve. Talk about a perfect Nick serve anyway. But yeah, Chris Berman, I am not. But wow. Anyway, so asserting themselves, Rosa McKnight win the first game, which is always helpful because if you lose that last set and you go down to break, that's not a comfortable feeling. And on the other side of the coin, it's a much more comfortable feeling when you're up a set and a break, where paddle's concerned. Not that you just kind of relax, but it's just easier to play at a certain gear. So here we go. Love won, second set. Standing only crowd, standing room only in there. Not really. They're just people standing up. What a shot. Okay. You want to talk
Sneaky
about a perfect,
blitz.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a perfect touch with the backhand volley. I mean, he didn't hit it too hard where it could have come up for air. Love 15. Oh, there we go. He's there.
Nice pick.
Jesus. I mean, what does he do? Run a 4.240? What the heck was that? It's impressive.
I think that's one of the big ones that you're going to start to see as an adjustment from Pete and Ben is that going to be able to look for more blitzing opportunities. It's warm.
Sure.
They start finding the groove on their return. There's no reason that,
Oh, no question. That's a great
they're
point,
not going to
Coach.
find chances to cut off a floater like that.
Yep. Right on cue, of course, that was Andrew.
Same thing
Coach
you're going to start
would
to
say.
see. I mean,
Oh, yeah, no.
Andrew's already being pretty aggressive with his movement, but I wouldn't be surprised as, if these guys try to bury
just a
Scott a little bit, that
crazy
you're going
good
to see
lob.
Andrew do more.
Yeah. No question about it. I'll tell you what, Scott just creates, that was a little long, Scott just creates
just a
so much
hairbeat.
space with his feet off the screens. It's just amazing. Guys, like watching a textbook. 15 all. All right, now watching a textbook. We'll say reading a textbook. Cal, is that better for you?
Yeah, textbook doesn't have legs.
Okay. My textbooks do.
That's why they cost $180, Cal.
That's
You gotta
right.
start paying attention. I mean,
He doesn't pay for things.
I went down and had a NASA astronaut write that thing
Wow.
in front of me in order to justify the price. Yep. It's like how my dad once said that a retainer that I needed was going to cost $380, and he was like, "Did you go down and chip it off the space shuttle yourself?"
All right, this is always a good idea. I don't know if you're picking this up, those of you at home, but they're doing a little bit, because you do get a certain amount of time between points. It's a little bit of conference because even though it's 30 all, sometimes you might see something. It's not a bad idea to have a little consult with your partner. I'm not saying that's what earned them the hold point here, but let's just see. And on cue, look, I'm not that smart, but on cue it looked like it worked. Sometimes you just kind of see things.
Sorry, I gave you bad info, Cal.
No worries.
Cal's middle name is bad info. Don't worry about that.
That's
So-
a silly middle name.
All right,
All right, here we go.
1-all.
Yep.
Kind of similar to last set. It's going to be a war. great deep volley. Oh, great
Scott
drive.
just plays that position
Doesn't
so
he?
well.
Doesn't he?
I mean, he reads it so early where
Yep.
he knows that it's coming that far out off the screen, and then he has time to pick his
Right.
spot.
Get over. Oh. No question.
So that, I mean, you just saw two polar opposite drive locations off the same ball because
Exactly.
he was set up early enough to just keep it relaxed.
Exactly.
Sorry, Ben. Sorry. I just looked up. Sorry.
Okay, again, those of you watching at home, what did he just do? He just put his hand up, didn't even bother to return it if he wasn't ready. Don't hit it. Not that you wouldn't know that, but you've been doing it for a long time. Sometimes you go ahead and hit it even if you're not ready. You got to play it. Shot.
Yep. There's that shovel backhand
that's
shot
great.
and a
Oh,
great
oh.
move. Now he could be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to take the time to recover.
Yes.
Yep. Great volley as well. There's another opportunity from Scott. Yep.
Exactly. Great depth on the volley there.
It's a smart transition here from Pete. Falling off the court to just put some angle on it.
Yep.
The third nick of this point.
Yep. Sit.
Another good lob location. Just
Really
the
good
patience of that lob. Yep, got it.
Back edge.
Now we're all playing. Now we're all playing tennis. Uh-oh.
Sit. Wow. Impressive. That's just impressive. Because I don't know, you know, if people really know
Oh,
way.
came right at him, made it work.
He's playing singles out here. That's on the line.
We're getting a lot of
This
good,
guy.
cool camera angles
We are.
from
Impressive.
Andrew digging
I know
in
he's
this
gonna
point
be-
right here.
Yeah. Get a highlight reel from this guy.
Just a
Unbelievable
little
D.
deep. What a great point from both
Unbelievable.
teams.
No question.
Transitions all around.
15-30. Yeah. Go with that. That's a score. I mean, I don't mean to be that guy, but great kickster. That thing just took a left turn. All right, speaking of coaching, Coach Matt, we have mentioned to a lot of our students, or you might even call them former students now,
Over the years.
over the years, not to swing the ball. Now, at this level, and I'm just asking you, I mean, in a rhetorical way, you can go ahead and respond. I mean, obviously, they're swinging it on a regular basis. From
Yeah,
corner to
I
corner.
think that's where, you know, that's a great ball
shot,
into the corner
yeah.
as well. I think that honestly that's where you start to see a difference in, you know, as levels separate.
Absolutely.
Is when you're dealing with players that are this good,
Yep.
if you were to hit the same shot 5 times in a row,
Yep.
the movement and the anticipation is so good that they're going to figure out how to drive that ball. Like
Yep.
if you just have your one target and you stick to it all the time, it's not going to work.
No.
So there's a little bit of, you know, well, a little bit. There's a constant cat and mouse
Yep.
going of not only what, you know, you think somebody
We got a
is
break
going
point
to
here, by the
do,
way.
but what they're capable of.
Exactly. Oh no, he faulted on great point, but you know what? It was well earned with the defense from Mansinger and Ning. And actually, that's a really great point, Coach, because it's there. What works at certain levels isn't always consistent.
Yeah.
There are certain things that will work all the way through the levels, and then there are just some things that, hey,
Right.
you know what, you can't do that at a certain level.
Right, right. And it's just, I mean, at least in Chicago paddle, you know, because we go all the way to 30 some series now.
Yeah.
I would venture to say that somewhere between, you know, if you're playing 20 to 30, it's just keep the ball in play. Like
Absolutely.
even if you just lobbed the entire time, it is very possible that you could win a match by just missing less.
You can also look at the idea, and of course we all do. So I'll talk about the elephant in the room. Sometimes on a team, you'll see that one person is much stronger, And even if, you know, you're thinking, okay, well, that player, even if they are on the deuce side and we're supposed to really keep them the ball on the ad side, we may be just picking on the weaker player on a regular basis just to win a match that way. That also happens. Doesn't happen as much at this level.
It's a little tougher.
Yeah.
It's a little tougher to pull off because, you know, it's still, you know, we always talked about it, but it's, you know, you're not attacking the side, you're attacking a player.
Exactly.
And a player, even if they're quote-unquote weaker, could still put you in trouble if they get to hit four hands out of the deuce corner all day.
No
like,
question.
It doesn't necessarily help you if they're
Exactly.
not going to, it's not going to turn into mistakes, you know?
Exactly. We're at 2-1, by the way, with Manziger serving.
Yeah, so you have like 20 to 30 of just keeping the ball in play, and then you have, you know, between 10 and 20 is essentially playing textbook paddle. Then it becomes about decision making,
Yep.
right? Like, yes, you have shots, but you don't have to use them all the time.
No.
Every time you see a forehand, it doesn't have to be a drive,
Exactly.
and selective, and then you've got, you know, 5 to 10 being much more about positioning than
Oh, yeah.
anything else,
Oh, yeah.
and you know, adhering to strategy and solving that problem
Yep.
every match. And then, you know, you've got kind of, you know, 1 through 5, you know, essentially having everything come down to match management
Yep.
and who can make the better adjustment faster.
No question. Matter of fact, recognition. It's amazing how much more quickly the recognition, the ability to recognize. You better recognize. Ability, I know I can't stop saying that, right? At the top level, it's just they can see stuff coming so much more quickly. That's a great touch. That's just he picked
Oh,
it up.
what a
I
dig.
know that was not easy. Just an automatic reset.
Are you guys popping out, Jay?
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
We're moving forward, back. Love 30? Love 30.
All right, love 30. Still 2-1 in the second set here. Manziger and Ning won the first one. Although they have the advantage of the second, right now, at love 30, there's an opportunity for
What a great
Exactly.
volley and good dig.
McKnight and Rose to even it back up here, which they've been able to do over the course of the match. So would not be a surprise if that happens. Love that idea.
Got it. Smart lob there from Pete to just know that
Not a bad
Andrew's closing
roller.
hard.
It's kind of, you know what's funny? That was a little bit more of like a centrally located roller.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah.
didn't necessarily hit it. That was more either at Pete or kind of on the inside there. So it was kind of almost a high percentage, if you will. So 15-30. Still an opportunity for Rose and McKnight here.
Great backhand drive.
It's in there.
A good
He's there.
combination.
Man, is he quick.
Just really enjoying that ball from Andrew.
Yeah, especially the one-handed drive, screen drive.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a
I would
two-handed-
say, if anything, to make that more effective, he might start poking some down the line. You know?
Oh, I love the idea.
Because he's
That's a good
taking it
idea.
nice and
Oh,
high.
good
It's
hands.
not like he couldn't get the net clearance.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it's a little easier to swing it cross court when the ball's out in front of you like that.
Yep.
But I mean, if he was to switch it up, I bet. Oh, it's a good look. If he was to switch it up, I bet it would be enough confusion because they're all going cross court. That
I agree. And most of the time, people pinch in the middle anyway.
yeah.
Just to sneak one down the line. Not that that's going to happen all the time as a winner, but at least as a nice change of pace. We got 30 all here, so
And it goes high into that like forehand pocket.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I hate that.
great ball.
I hate a lot of stuff, though. So, so you know, it's nothing new if I hate
I
something.
hate a lot of stuff,
Yeah, so
and you're gonna hear about it.
exactly. By the way, that was a great screen drive. They
Croutons
got
are
away
weird.
Unbelievable.
They're just all of a sudden like, what if we
Sit.
cut up garlic toast and put it on your salad?
All right, that wasn't a profanity at all. It just sounded that way. Just so you know, those of you, the censors at home, we're not censoring that one because that really wasn't that that wasn't profanity. So,
Local legend Jay Waldenberg walking onto court number 2, by the way. Preparing for tonight's match.
you know what? Now that you mentioned John Irvin, now I can't get his out head of can't get him out of my head now because he'd be going court rat, woo woo woo. Anyway, so we are at in.
Welcome to the CPTC live stream, all things Jay Waldenberg. The Jay Waldenberg tracker will be up next week.
Get in there.
For anybody interested, I'm going to start a Twitter account. Have you seen that kid that runs Twitter accounts that follows around Mark Zuckerberg's plane and Elon Musk's plane and just lets everybody know where they're at? It's a fascinating service.
You know what?
Even more so that he's running it off Twitter.
Yeah, no, exactly. Great reset. Look at the hands. Come on, man.
Elon Musk actually offered him $5,000 to stop tracking his plane, and his response was, "Aren't you the richest man in the world?" How about 50?
That's a good point. $5,000 is like a nickel for By the way, this point is spectacular.
I mean, just keep going, guys.
He's
Nice
there.
pick.
What a kid. Look at the dig.
The stretch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I like that cut,
So
though.
did
I
I.
like that little, like, half speed.
Oh, yeah.
That is a great
Oh.
play. Good hustle, Pete.
Reading it. We're talking hooked on phonics. He saw that thing coming. And actually, it's not easy to do because you really can't tell when you hit a cutter like that what the ball's going to do. It might actually take a left turn. He read it perfectly. So back to deuce here. Way to hang for Rosa McKnight here. Good hands. He's there. Way to vacate the premises.
Smart switch.
That I'm good at.
Recover
Just
space.
vacating. That's good. That's the one thing I'm good at. Just getting out of there. Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Nice.
Did he pull that off? Yes, he did.
What a dig.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's tough. That's warm weather right there. That's as soft as Pete could hit it in that situation.
Yep,
And it just
it's
there's
still
nothing
sat up.
else you can do.
Yep.
Nice way to find
Finding
the nick.
The nick. They have a documentary on paddle. That's what they should call it. Finding the nick.
I think mine would be called Below the Deck, the Matt McClure story.
Mine will be called Off the Premises.
Oh, just a little wide.
You know me, I'm going to
Good
say a little
look.
more top. That thing spins down, but he almost had it. Back to deuce. Oh, yeah. It's a nice serve.
Yep. I mean, Pete and Ben both just so comfortable on both sides of the court that when they do get forced to switch, they just stay there. You
Yep.
know, there's not like any sense of urgency to get back
It's
to
called
wherever.
versatility. I don't know what
What's
that's
that
like. I know, exactly. What does that mean?
Sounds like sort of
Yeah.
an SAT word, Sean.
Under Sean's diet.
See, now right there, you're
Versatile.
you know what you're doing? You're presupposing I have a diet.
Great roller. He pulled that one down the line.
He did.
I was just talking about. Oh, 2 in a row.
I think Pete's onto it. Look at
Pete,
this.
unimpressed.
I know, exactly. Yeah.
I will now make a
Old-
volley easily that came right at
Old
my
hat.
face
Ancient
twice in a row.
chapeau. We've seen that before. Oh,
There's another nick.
you know what? You got to look at this. You got to
Wow.
give it to Scott. That's just amazing.
In transition,
He's
Scott's going to
seen
drive
so
that
many,
as well.
Yeah. Tonight he's seen so many nick shots that have gone awry for him, and he's still in there
Yep.
chugging. Amazing. That's a good roller. Wow. Got a chance to tag that one. This is a great point. Oh, what a drive.
Oh,
what
that's a
follow.
cannon.
Oh, that's smart.
Okay, so we've now entered the phase in the second set where everybody feels like this game is worth more than a game.
Exactly.
Have fun out there.
Yeah, good luck.
Enjoy.
Good luck. Good luck, Coach. I know we're not supposed to be biased or partial. We don't care.
Yeah,
They're
we're
gonna throw me
supposed to be,
That's right. Yep,
impartial
right.
announcers, but
But-
we really hope Jason Love wins.
Thanks, guys.
Sports ball.
It's true. It's got nothing to do with the fact that we're at his home club. and my documentary Off the Premises would come to fruition if we.
It'd really be more of a mockumentary, don't you think?
Anything that I'm involved in is a mockumentary.
It'd be filmed in the style of The Office or Borat.
That's right. Oh yeah, beautiful. All right, would it be cliche to say this is some high-quality paddle for the first rendering for our season? I don't think so.
No, I think that this is ultimately what you kind of get.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
oh wow,
Unbelievable.
good ball from Andrew.
He is talented, because I did not see that coming.
Just short enough to be a serious problem.
Nice. Nice dig. No way.
Oh wow!
Great
What
shot.
a great cut
Was.
right there from Pete. Sneaky, just letting the ball drop, seeing that it's short,
15
setting
all.
up early, putting some junk on it.
Another power serve into the nick there.
Yep. It's just a little timing
Yep.
issue there, and when it's warm and you can still get the ball to leap, you put a little extra heat on the serve, and
I just feel
Somebody
better
catches it
about
late.
that. Technically, you could say that maybe wasn't the greatest decision to take that off the deck. Maybe you should have screened it. I'm just glad to see that he makes decisions like that because
nice
I do that all the
play,
time.
good dig.
Great
Wow,
shot.
nice try.
That's a super shot from Andrew.
Yeah, ridiculous.
So we're with 15-30 here,
30 all.
or 30 all. Excuse me, 30 all here. And it's still a fight. There we go. He got a hold of that
That's
one.
the ball that Scott was looking for
And out.
that whole time. He got way out in front of that one and was able to redirect
All right,
it.
so a break point here. Good hands, good hands. He's there. Wow. What a reset. Oh yeah. That's so cool. He gets over there so quickly and sets up so quickly that he can make a last-minute decision, which if you're watching at home, as I said, that's kind of a wow, how did he get that
Tough.
angle?
That's
I know.
tough. That's a tough angle to come up with
No,
right there.
Especially from back that far. Oh, it's a great shot.
Yep.
Rose with the outstanding, I guess you could call that a waterfall. Back to deuce.
Yeah, that kind of seems like how it was
Yeah.
designed,
Yeah.
you know? Oh,
Good hands.
wanted that one.
Paul doing a great job of just building a wall.
Sort of a rare late shift for
It was.
Scott there as well. You don't usually see him like slide to his side while driving the ball. Usually he's sort of set up a step earlier
Stationary.
than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that hit the back edge of the line. That's crazy.
Wow.
Wow.
Really tough ball in transition.
Yeah.
there.
It's bad enough he hits it perfectly up the center.
Such a casual volley
I
from
know.
Pete.
I know. For
Ball's dipping down to his knees, and he's just stretching his paddle down there like, no big deal.
I would still be watching. Anybody who's watching from the sidelines, I would be bragging about that in the middle of the point after that one. Did you see that one right there? See what I just did there?
I know I say it all the time, but I feel like it's worth repeating. I definitely have had those moments when I was first learning to play where the first volley felt like every time I made it, it was the greatest shot of my life. At some point, somebody was like, every first volley can't feel like it's the greatest ball you've ever made. And I was like, you're right. I probably should figure that out. Probably should calm down a little bit.
I don't know. What's life if you can't celebrate every first
But,
volley?
you first start playing, you
You're
come
right.
off the tennis
No,
court, and you're like scraping your paddle on the deck
right,
and,
you're right.
sort of hitting a half volley because that's what you would do.
No, it's true. No, you're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, you
Oh, there's another opportunity.
Some great D here.
Yep,
Look at that.
Yep.
Oh.
See, that's what I'm talking about, where you make a great dig, you have, you feel like maybe there's an opportunity because they're a little disappointed that the point's not over yet, so you try to immediately swing the momentum your direction.
Not only that, you feel like you deserve it.
Yeah,
It's
it's psychology, right? You've earned it. Like, look at all these shots I've made.
Look at what I've done. I deserve this.
So here comes this one that this is how this point should end.
I've been eating all this kale. I deserve this. Brownies and baked goods, damn it. So
I've been eating all this kale, so I've ordered 2 brownie disasters. A new flavor of Blizzard at Dairy Queen. Try the brownie disaster.
Oh, he's going to get there.
Nice pick.
The waterfall, he's there, though. Good eye.
Yep.
We're going to go one more time for a break point here.
And that's the biggest part about this for Scott and Andrew is like you can't play this straight up. You have to make the strategy adjustment because both Pete and Ben have such great backhands.
No question.
And so you're already playing sort of a great dig again. Oh,
Man,
I thought he had it.
He just cannot find. He can't miss the nick sometimes. I mean,
Yeah, and so
especially
you're
on that.
already playing sort of a non-traditional match because of you can't just shut your brain off and hit your usual targets.
No question.
And so then you're definitely in that spot where you have to be paying attention all the time. There's no room to get too relaxed.
No doubt. By the way, I don't think Paul's missed one serve outside the line, the center service line.
That's
in
the
this
first
game.
time we've seen Scott.
Yeah, decide to drive it out there. Yep.
And it's almost like he just kind of waited for Pete to maybe not step up on the net because he had lobbed probably the last 10 of those shots.
And that's what sets it up. Smart. It's a good lob. There we go. Good teamwork.
Good ball again as well.
He's there again. Unbelievable.
What a great lob from Scott while in a tough position.
Let's pick up. Oh, yeah.
Yep, there it is again.
It's almost like he heard you, Coach. I think he's got, I am serious.
I mean,
he's there.
With that backhand, he's really started to mix up the targets well.
Yep. Good lob. Sit. Oh, it's in there. That's, you know what, that is such a cool move. Hopefully they can just go, you know what I'm saying? That's
You got to appreciate this moment where
right.
The trajectory, Pete was just like so sure it was going out where he was like, no, and then he's like, I think I hooked you, I'm sorry.
You know what, and they'll do it again. But you know what, here's the thing though, you kind of have to.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just something that you just would only see in paddle.
In paddle,
you know
I was going to say, yeah.
It's like, you got a bunch of tournament players out here, that really know what they're doing.
Right. And he's not, I mean, not that there are these people out there, but he's definitely not one of them. Like
no.
these
But
guys
he's
are-
just,
yeah.
he's going to call it back in the middle, and they're going to be like, that's fine. We're still in the middle of a point, and we're gonna play it again.
Right. Besides, Andrew was hitting the backhand volley. Ben would have had it anyway. The point would have continued.
The point that's the toughest decision that any ump has to make in a paddle situation is if something comes up, like if a ball was still playable or
Yes.
not.
Yes.
I'm not even talking about paddle. That's not.
I
It's
understand.
not a big decision factor that
Not usually,
umpires have
no.
to come up with.
Not
But
usually.
I just mean like in sports in general, when they're like, well, was that playable? Like,
Right.
I don't know. You're dealing with pro athletes. I feel like everything's playable.
Everything's played. What a shot.
That was a great volley there from Ben to stuff that.
Well, you know what? Sportsmanship pays off. They got the deuce back here. Not that that had anything to do with it. I just kind of throw that in there like we all like to think that is what happened there. Has he missed a backhand volley? I don't think so.
Not as of yet.
Here's another one.
A great lob
Right.
location.
I love
Andrews there. That's the transition
Super
ball
shot.
that Ben was looking for the whole time, I think.
Scott handles it.
Great volley. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a switch here. Yep. There's the switch back in the backcourt. Oh, great
There,
volley.
it's tough. I mean, talk about perfect touch.
I mean,
Yeah. Like I said, hasn't
I
missed
mean,
a backhand volley.
Pete and Ben are one of those teams where when they start feeling good about their volley,
Yeah.
you do not want to be driving at them. Like,
No.
they're going to start to find ways to bury shots.
Yep.
A lot of times, even if you're hitting great drives, you just be
It
like,
doesn't
well,
matter.
was he standing on the net? If the answer is yes, then it was the wrong decision.
Not only that, this is warm weather paddle. I mean, you know,
No,
it gets
nice try. That's a warm weather paddle miss right there.
exactly.
That was a
Good
very
cue.
makeable volley for Pete, but it just leaked a little bit long.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, in warm weather, I mean, it's not like the drives aren't easy to handle. They're easier to handle when it gets colder. So
Right,
if
right,
they're
yeah.
volleying well in the summer, or, well, I shouldn't say summer. What a return!
Nice. Scott really stayed down on that one, got it to dip
Sure did.
as it crossed the net.
One more.
Toughest ball to volley is the one that's dropping below the net as you're making contact.
Oh yeah. Look
You
at
get
that.
those
lob.
shots that just kind of skim the tape and then dive down to your kneecaps.
The other thing is, who wants to go down there and get it? I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I almost feel like I should just half volley this ball. I mean, people go, Sean, you should just get in there and volley the ball. I don't know. Who wants to bend down there? I mean, these guys are just so good at it. Matter of fact, I think if you get used to, and this happens in all racket sports, if you get used to keeping your wrist kind of steady and watching the ball, you can even drop the racket head a little bit.
Yep.
You don't have to keep the racket above hand level like we like to say as racket sports
Really good
professionals.
digs here from both teams
Awesome.
in this point. Oh, Nick.
He's there.
Yep.
Good concentration.
That's
going to
a really
be a tough
good
one.
ball there. A good pick from Andrew. Good speed to get back for that
Yep.
shot, too.
I guess for him that's average, but for everybody else it's good.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just getting the impression now as we get into
Look
it
at
here
that.
in the second set, where
Oh, crazy.
I think
Great shot. I mean, that's just speed
Tough.
right there.
Yeah.
That is just speed that won the game for Ning and Manziger there. That's just amazing. Matter of fact, if he can he stop bouncing around, please? Jesus. Like talk about the guy. We're midway through the second set. He's still got the same amount of energy. That's incredible.
Can you calm down a little bit?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But that was just amazing. Good job.
All right, so 4-1
I know
here.
it doesn't seem like 4-1. Like it's just there's something wrong
No,
with it.
we're playing long, deuce points, and we're starting to get in that zone right now
Yeah.
where, there's, maybe 1 point per game right now is lasting,
difference.
less than 3 shots.
Exactly. Yeah, no, That's probably one of the toughest things to deal with in paddle. That you could play one of the best matches you've ever played and still lose 2-2. Not that they're going to.
Wow.
Oh, nice touch. He got
Great
it.
spin move. Nice scramble there from Scott to get back in position. It'll be interesting to see what happens here because only in that last game did I start to get the impression that Pete and Ben were starting to be like, oh, I hope we get the volley more.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is definitely a strength of theirs, and so I wouldn't be surprised if you started to see some more pace, you know,
Sure.
go into the corners just to kind of be like, you know what? I wouldn't mind if you
Drive it.
I wouldn't mind if you started to drive a
Inducing
little
as
bit more. I
many
mean,
drives.
3 of the points that they got in that last game
Sure.
were volleys that they buried off of
That's a good
decent
point.
drives.
That's a great point, Coach. Yeah, you're right. The other thing
Nice
is,
pick, good move.
the other problem they may have is that it's not as though at the net
Got it.
Ning and Manziger are
Transition.
actually a liability. They volley very well too, so they don't mind switching it up if they can. They also don't mind driving or playing D, as we might say, even though D can be at the net as well in paddle. What a backhand volley.
You know what's interesting as well when you get, you know, warm weather pad. I know that I was saying you see a lot more, you know, transition play.
Sure.
But with the way this match has been going, we're not seeing the transition off of huge drives. We're seeing the transition off of lobs that
Right.
are like hitting the line.
Right.
Because when it's this warm, there's no penalty for letting that ball go either.
Right, exactly.
You know, like it's so warm that like
Like
somebody
right there,
like this
right there,
ball, like
perfect
who cares?
example.
Like
Yep.
he's
Yeah.
going to be there with plenty of time.
The other thing is it's flying so much you're going to let it go because you want to see if it's going to go out, if it's going to be
Yeah,
close
no.
enough.
When you're hoping for out balls that, you know, lobs that you think are going to hit the line, you should absolutely be letting them bounce, hoping that you get the free point because it's just so hard
Yeah.
to earn the points.
They pump the heater back on?
Getting a little damp out there,
Yeah, probably.
getting a little misty. Oh, we're getting the full Chicago paddle experience now. There's enough condensation on the court.
Oh,
Ooh,
what a shot.
great
He's there.
shot. Oh, fancy. Oh, that's going to be Pete's bread and butter. He likes that ball.
That's a great
Yep,
drive.
great transition.
Perfect location.
Good move. 15 all.
Wow.
Good shot.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's another philosophy where both of them have incredible backhands, both on the return and then on the drive. Exhibit A, of course, I just jinxed him there, but
I don't know. The third one is always difficult.
Right.
Like if you're
drive 3 in a
really
row, yeah.
improving court position, then fine. But it looked a
Yeah.
little bit on that one like maybe Pete was trying to slide to the side to manufacture that one.
Right.
And it's not like he can't make that drive. It's just, you know,
what
it maybe
a volley.
wasn't really
Come
improving
on.
court position when he was,
I don't know.
when he was hitting it.
Manziger's putting on a clinic out there.
It's a nice roller.
Amazing.
Good shift. Oh, good opportunity.
Just ripped it. What I was going to say, though, is that where you're serving the ball, sometimes it almost feels like, well, I'm feeding the beast if I go right into his backhand side all the time. Yeah, but sometimes,
Oh,
whoa,
the dribbler!
how do they get away with it? You know what, when things are rolling. So this is the whole point here. It's in there. Nice shot. Oh.
Tape.
And again,
Bummer.
a quick game by comparison.
Yeah.
But I guess you get to this point where you're just going to try a few things because you feel like you're
Yeah,
behind
and
enough.
I do think you got to respect it because even though they caught some tape on some drives in that game, you're still, you know, you're still
Yes.
making them come up with it. And
Exactly.
A couple of those drives go over, and all of a sudden that's your game that you take. So. Oh, Andrew was there for a nice early read on that one too. Didn't work out, but
Exactly.
a good call. You will hear Scott call for help every time that ball goes close to the corner.
Good hands. The other thing is, what a lob. The other thing you will see is, as it gets closer, where you feel like, okay, we're now receiving for the match. Do we try something different? And I almost feel like, and this is just me, and this is nothing against a younger player, older player, veteran player, whatever, but Scott's going to play just the way he's been playing the whole match, pretty much.
Right.
You know what I mean? You may get a little bit of a variance from Andrew, because he'll try to take a few more cuts at the ball. It looks like he's doing that, playing a little more
Well, the
aggressive.
previous point, Andrew's backhand was the first one that looked like he absolutely tried to force.
Exactly.
Out of the screen. Like he was
Exactly.
sort of doing a cartwheel, falling to the middle of the court, decided to drive it anyway.
Exactly.
It
And
was really-
that's kind of
It was
why
really sort of like the first, kind of decision that he made where
you're wondering.
you were kind of like, you just, he was starting to feel really good about everything.
Which, and again, if I drove like he did, I would drive every ball. But the point is, all the reason I was saying that is because sometimes that's what happens. You play the score, you just think, okay, I can be more aggressive now that we have a big lead.
Yeah. But
And-
that's one of the interesting things about paddle and just kind of the ebb and flow of, everybody goes through that. You get out on the court for the first time and it looks small and like you should be making every shot.
Yep.
And so you start making a bajillion errors and you can't figure out why you lost. And then you kind of fall in love with the game and so you start grinding and then you play too much defense. And then you're going to have a partner that's like, hey, you can drive the ball when
Yeah,
they hit
go
a bad
ahead.
overhead,
Yeah, yeah.
And then you have to go back and sort of find your
Man, if I had
equilibrium.
$5 every time somebody said that to me. Sean, if you lob another ball, I swear to God, I'm going to slap you.
But that's just the natural,
Yeah.
and you start to find the median, the healthy median of decision making.
Sure. He's there.
That's the kind of stuff that I think Pete and Ben are actually looking for.
He took that.
As
on a-
crazy as it seems,
Yeah.
he was like, they're hitting hard into the screen, they want to drive, and you see how they're just starting to step up and
Yep.
look for that volley opportunity.
Oh, what lob. Sit down.
Great
Unbelievable.
lob. Transition,
Super.
transition again, another opportunity. That's tough. Dig.
Wow.
Yep.
Not easy to do. Unbelievable point.
Going for a little sneaky poke on that one.
Absolutely. 30-15. Still in this. Serving to stay in the match here. That was hit. Wow.
Now, bad luck. My fault.
All right, 40-15.
45.
On the verge of staying in this thing. This is cool. Is that
Oh,
wide?
that
Oh.
is bad luck off the lead cord.
Where's the home court advantage, darn it? Come on, man.
What is home court advantage, Sean?
Well, I think I'm just going to put it up on the internet as a link. People don't have to hear me talk about it
Just
anymore.
dump it in the chat as a link.
Or so, Sean, if you, there's another slappable offense for me. Let's talk about no more lobs and no more home court advantage definitions.
There's a
Yeah, he's
nick.
there.
What a great dig from Andrew.
Gosh, he's quick.
Good recovery ball. Well, there you go. Another nick.
Yes.
I mean, just refusing to miss
Unbelievable.
in the backcourt right now.
Unbelievable.
Oh, no.
You know what? He deserves it.
Yep.
You got to think. The paddle gods, as they say, they'll reward you after a while. Not every time, not a lot, but it happens.
Oh. That's
So
funny.
still in it, 5-2. That's a little more like it.
That's one of those games, though. You're obviously playing for the set. You're trying not to make errors. But I can only assume that they would have been incredibly irritated if it hit that many nicks in that series of
And
points
lost.
and still weren't able
Lost
to
it.
walk
Yeah,
away with
yeah.
that game.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, that was just
yeah.
multiples in a row.
And it's not the same concept, but I'm reminded of a tennis. Of course, I am, right? A tennis parallel. At one point, there are three major, three levels of pro tennis, and back when I played in the Stone Age, the third rung was called satellites, right? So I'd go out, get into the best shape I could get in there, and I'd lose 2 and 1 in about 45 minutes, right? And I played well, okay? And I'm thinking, why did I get into such good shape? All I did was get aced. Like, what's the point?
What I like to do, Sean, is get in really good shape and then get smoked.
Exactly. Like, I could have gone out there, as fat as I wanted to be, because I didn't have to move anyway. Every shot, if I hit anything short, it was over anyway. I'd have to, even if I guessed right, I still wasn't there. All right, love 15 here. So McKnight and Rose are on a little bit of a roll here. I don't want to jinx them, but they are. Staying in this second set. Love the two-handed forehand.
Good hands, great volley.
He's there.
Transition back again.
Yeah. I love that shot. Yeah, when they dink it like that, or just a little cut, barely makes it over the net. Dare I say pickleball-esque? You know, I shouldn't even say that, but I will, right there. Just so they can get to pop it up.
Yeah, and I would be surprised if you saw anything crazy aggressive from Pete and Ben in this particular game, because now they're thinking we got a little momentum, and if we can get it to 5-3, there's serious pressure.
That's again another great point.
Somebody,
You're absolutely right.
somebody has to flip this. They have to step up and beat us at that
What
point.
a shot!
Great dig by Scott. Good coverage by Ben too. I mean, he made that look easy, but
did,
Scott was really close to him there.
Totally,
by the time
and he was going to hit the sideline if that had passed him.
Yeah.
That was staying in. So.
Yep. You see the targets from Pete and Ben here. Just, controlling the speed, working the point. That's the first overhead we've seen Pete or Ben even swing at.
It's a great lob.
Great lob.
I mean, jeez.
That's tough.
It's almost
That's
like a
tough.
hit three quarters court, and then just so we can get a line on one
And
that's deep.
And that ball that's deep enough like that, especially at this temperature, I think one of the toughest parts is making the decision to not drive that ball back.
Exactly.
Like, you feel compelled to be like, wow, this came way out off the screen, and those guys are still in transition. I'll just
give it a nice
flick a little drive in here.
Hack, yeah. I'll give it a nice paddle hack and bring it in. I'm sorry, I thought I'd get it in there somehow. It was
We're working it.
horrible. Yeah, I do. Oh, what a shot. He's there.
Nice. Oh, that's tough. That just did not come out the way that Scott thought it was going to. He looked like he decided really early what he was going to do with that ball, and then it just wasn't. It wasn't out in front of him the way he liked it.
Exactly. Which is the only maybe pitfall, so to speak, of setting up so early, because he does that so well all the time. I want to say 15-30.
Yeah, I would agree. The only time that anticipation can actually become a problem, is in the world of paddle, where you don't get true bounces. You have seams and you got little imperfections in the screen. It's not racquetball. It's not like, I see that ball come off the wall.
Right.
It's a perfect sphere. It does it this way every single time.
Right, exactly.
And thank God for that, because otherwise I don't think a paddle match would ever end.
That's a really good point. Thank God for the seams and the wacky bounces and the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There it is. He did it again.
Got it again. There it is. Another ball, where you feel like you should drive it.
Exactly.
And he did. And then they transitioned a third time.
What a skyhook.
Oh, and he caught it into the neck.
Unbelievable. How did he pull that off? So we're at 30 all here.
We're at 30 all? Yep.
Scratching and clawing back.
Yep.
I mean, it's hard to say scratching and clawing back when they have we had a lead here, but it's down low 30 now, bringing it back to 30 all.
And you saw Scott make a big adjustment in this game as well, whereas Pete and Ben started to put a little more heat on their returns. He started staying back.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what? I'm just going to make sure we get into these points.
Boy, he's so good at
He
it.
hasn't been doing it the entire match, but now that they're kind of at the tail end of the second set, he's putting an even higher premium on not giving away,
Sure.
any errors, not giving up first volleys
Great lob.
if they're swinging.
Yeah, just like you say, I would be proud of any of these. I would be, bragging about like that last one, the 1-2. Oh, look at that.
Oh, good
Nice
dig. It's a good reversal there. Gonna get to see Andrew pick it out. Yep, nice poke. Oh,
Wow.
teamwork.
That's all right, he's there.
And he came up with it.
Lob volley.
What a great sequence there.
It is.
All four
love
players
the
to make
idea.
the look. Nice move. Nice move, still in it.
This is a grind with a capital G.
Indeed.
Unbelievable. So he's going to swing it. Oh, what a shot. Oh, I love the idea.
Great volleys.
Unbelievable.
Scott ends up in the backcourt. So this is sort of paying off here because Scott and Andrew, now they'll switch back, but started to get some shorter lobs there. That's
Sure.
not where they had been playing for the match up until then.
Yeah, there is. It's funny you say that in paddle. There are times where you say, well, we'd rather be here or we'd rather be there.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any question. You called it. I think Rose and McKnight are much more comfortable where they are right now. Not that they,
Ooh.
it was close. What a touch.
Oh, the half volley.
Come on. Okay, this is. I mean, I don't know. I lost count, so we're.
Yeah,
I would
this
say
is
60
yeah,
or
this
something
is
crazy.
This is a long point here. Lots of digs. I get the impression that they're starting to bait Scott's drive a little bit on the deuce side, that like this.
Yep.
I think that they kind of want that ball coming at them.
Sure.
Still making Andrew work to get back to his corner. Another ball that Ben's on top of early. Same thing.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, look at that.
Same thing. That's what Ben wants. Great ball, good pick to help off the nick.
Great lob. Oh,
Oh. Yep. Smart. Good
amazing
shift.
hands there from Paul Rose. Not an easy ball.
Yep. I mean, you really do have to give it to Scott and Andrew here, where they're hitting quality lobs to the
Yep.
point where there's just not. I mean,
Oh, what a point!
that's what I'm talking about right there.
And
That
you know
was
what? His shoe came undone. I didn't even want to say anything.
that was the
But
point
in the
that
middle
they
of
were.
the point, unbelievable point. And by the way, when you win or you
That's
lose a
Ben
point
and
like
Pete
that,
ad, right?
yep.
Yeah.
When you win or lose a point like that, that's actually sometimes a turning point. I don't want to jinx it.
Well, let's see what we get.
Like I
Yep,
said,
there it is,
it's almost like a
5-3.
It's like they just kind of broke through a little bit here. This is, you know, and honestly speaking, I mean, I don't mean to be, that guy, the cheesy guy, but you know, it's almost like they deserve it, man. They
Cheese it up, Sean.
played too well. Played too. I got to be more lactose intolerant, but no, I'm just saying, I just think they deserve it. They played such a great match. 3-1 just didn't sound right to me. They just, so. And when I say 3-1, I'm not even saying they're going to lose this match. They could still come back and win it. What I'm just trying to say is it's just the score did not reflect the quality of play is what I'm trying to say in my long-winded, idiotic way.
Yeah, and I think, like I sort of mentioned, I really feel like there's been a shift into, looking to attack more with the volley.
Sure.
Like, it just didn't feel quite that way in the first set. It seemed like Andrew had them a little on their heels.
Yep.
And I just think that they want Scott driving out of the deuce side right now, and I think they want Andrew trying to manufacture, stuff.
Yep.
And they'll give him that ball down the middle and attack his corner occasionally, but you do kind of, get the impression that they want him to cool off a little bit because
Sure.
then he gets to just run around and swing.
No question. Not only that, I
Yep.
think he's
Aggressively going after Nick's still, though.
Yep, and they're also reading. I think Andrew a lot more than they were before. And the other thing is, I think he slowed. I'm not going to say he slowed his drive down, but he's not snapping at the two-hander anyway.
Well, and so this is an interesting, sort of, I don't know how to mention it, philosophy, right? Is that, so Andrew has found his groove,
Right.
and he's not, jumping on balls, as early,
Right.
and, trying to snap stuff into the court,
Right.
but also him being a little erratic in the first set,
That's
totally paid off.
exactly
You know what I mean?
where I'm
Where
going with.
him being real aggressive
Right.
at the right time,
Right.
sort of became okay. He started to
You got to look for it.
yeah, and when
that's-
he was connecting with
right
drives,
about there, he was close there to try to go after one, but
yeah, when he started connecting with drives where he was really swinging at them, they were causing a little bit more of a problem.
Yep.
And now everybody's kind of just locked in.
Exactly. No, it's. I mean, we've said this before. Sometimes you got to show something that you're willing to hit a cert shot, even if you're missing it. You got to make somebody think about it because that definitely, to your point, was working in the first set.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that he could just haul off and crack one, even if he didn't make every one of them, they had to respect it.
Nice move. Way to dig out of that corner. He's buried again.
Look at that.
Good flex.
Gosh, was that a great lob. That
Oh,
probably, see,
yeah.
right there, I would say, and of course it's easy for me to say from, being a commentator here, and I'm not even doing a good job at that, but the point is that might have been a two-handed opportunity right there.
Yeah, that was the first time that you've seen both feet leave the deck with him trying to hit a one-hander.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
There it is. There it is. I mean, exactly. No, I was just going to say, because, I mean, it's almost you got to show it. It's like hitting a flat serve in singles in tennis. You got to show it every so often.
Great decision to let that hit the
I
deck.
know. I was going to say, because it looked like it was going to go into me, but just missed it. 35. Bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Unbelievable. I'm only saying unbelievable because I think Paul Rose, every time he swings it to the deuce side, I think he's hit the alley like every single time. Because I keep waiting for him. Okay, he missed one. Thank you. Thank you. All right. He's human.
He's human after all. Great
Here we
move.
go.
This is going to be a transition here. Yeah.
I almost put too much top on that drive. I would have just smacked it. Of course, I can't smack it that hard, so it wouldn't matter to me. But
You know when you put too much top on a drive and you catch it so thin that it barely gets to the net? That's what I like to do. 3 point, 30 all.
30 all. Gosh, that's just rock solid. That is still, again, impressive. He can just hit the alley from that back that far. Awesome. You know what's funny is if we put the circle out, you know, like we like to for the resets, I think they're hitting it like 9 out of 10 times. Okay,
Chalk
everybody.
flew up, Sean.
Everybody in the whole stadium knows it's good. And you're calling it out.
I love it when he would absolutely lose his mind.
It's a great lob.
I don't know if it was good for the sport, but man, was it entertaining.
It was entertaining.
Everybody in the whole stadium
It's
knows
and you're calling
it's
it
good. You're calling it there from your fat ass.
out. Explain it to me. Will you?
Sit and explain it to me.
Or maybe you didn't understand me. Maybe I need to translate it into stupid people language. You
Oh,
would say
it's
stupid
on the
stuff
line.
like that. How many are you gonna miss? Yeah, used to
I
love
always wanted to have a shirt made with the whole rant,
Yeah,
like just
exactly.
all the text.
Yeah. Yeah. How many you're gonna miss is my favorite.
How
Like,
many are you gonna
like he
miss?
misses like every one of them.
Right.
All right. It's just automatic that backhand.
I agree, Ryan. This is a great match.
Oh, how? It's, you know what? That's the only way that these rallies end usually. It's gonna have to be somebody hitting the nick like that.
That's amazing. That was
Add in, if I'm not mistaken.
40-30, I think.
Yep.
40-30. Oh, that was a nice little flip right there.
Nice.
Makes me think of Flip Goodspeed. I wonder what he's up to.
I think it was my roommate in college.
Really?
No.
He was what he was Scott's partner that he won a whole bunch of championships with.
Was it really?
Yeah. Scott and Flip.
I can't remember. I kind of remember him actually, or the name anyway. I don't remember. Nice.
Great volley. Yep. Still seeing a little bit more heat going to Scott's corner.
Yep.
Kind of just more willing to go after the nick and then deal with the drive, I think. On that side. That's a great ball.
It was. What a get! A get out.
Oh no! That is a great game
So
right there
pulling
from
it to
both
5-4,
teams.
You just got to hand it to Rose and McKnight. You going out to get some food for everybody there, Cal, or just yourself?
Kel, did you order pizza?
Unbelievable. Well, those romantic comedy, as he likes to call them, the rom-com lights are too much for him. He's got to get over there.
Yep.
All right, so serving for it once more, not to jinx them at all. But serving for it once more will be Andrew Ning. 5-4.
Again.
Second set. Yeah, I know. Deja vu. Oh, look at that.
Great volley.
Yeah,
With that chicken wing in the pocket.
exactly.
Great
Good
move
job,
there by
yeah.
Ben to get around that
Oh.
ball. And then for Pete to follow it
Force
up,
it, yep.
knowing that it was going to be a problem,
Yep.
and getting there quick enough
No question.
to make it happen.
First point.
Love 15 here.
Yeah.
Great
Oh,
grip.
yeah. What a what
Oh!
hands. How did he pull?
Man!
I tell you what, Rose is just
That
on
is
fire.
just a great
Not
sequence.
that they both aren't, but I mean, Paul's
Well, I mean, to have it come down to shots
got-
like
yeah,
that,
I know,
you know,
Pete's gotta
like
be able to
in
handle it.
transition.
What a shot he's there.
Ben's gonna dig here for a little bit.
Look
Oh, right on the line with the volley from Scott. That's a tough one. Hoping it was
Look
gonna
at that.
drift a little bit.
Nice. Kind of, I mean, not that he can't pull that off. That is kind of deep for a drive, though.
It's a tough ball, but you know what? I think it was the same sequence that we were just talking about,
Exactly.
which was like seeing an opportunity, right, where Scott wasn't in great position and just
Right.
feeling like if you can put the drive on him,
Exactly.
that it would cause enough of a problem.
Good roller.
Another good one, and that's a tough ball to come up with. That thing stayed pretty
No
low.
question.
Lots of junk on Andrew's overhead right now. Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
it floated up there enough, but I mean, you have to come through that ball so hard and heavy to get the spin to not
Totally.
affect your paddle on the drive.
All right, 30 all. They were 2 points away several games ago.
Yeah, that's we've been here before. Great transition, good hands, nice poke.
Tank.
Yep, smart. Again, we're gonna see the switch. Yep, there it is.
Yours.
Way to take that off the deck. That's not easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yours. Yours.
Good touch.
Yours. Good. Yours. Fine. Go. Yours. Go.
And clip
Lock
the
and
line.
nick, yep.
Again, he hits
Another
the
one,
alley
that's-
again.
Yep, that's the one.
Jesus.
It's just such a big wind-up
Yeah,
right there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
They, again, with that volley,
Yep. not worried
wanting
about it.
volley.
Yep.
All right, we got a game point here to take it to 5-5.
Unbelievable.
An opportunity, big opportunity. Let's see what we get. Nice hands. Oh, what a volley from
Unbelievable.
Scott to
Yeah.
come up with there.
Amazing. Crazy, amazing hands there.
I mean, that's the right play, too.
was, it
I mean,
was. He just hit a
absolutely. For
great
Pete
shot.
to close and snap that drive
Yeah.
right at Scott.
And then it come back. Oh, he just missed the. Oh my goodness. That could prove costly. Let's just see. Here's a match point right here.
Yeah, they're going to make a transition. Oh, nope, they're not. They're going to keep driving and transitioning. Good. Nice warm weather paddle there.
Shot.
Same thing. Give me another ball before we
switch
see a
yet.
switch
There we
here.
go.
There's the switch in the backcourt. Great lob. Tough. It's tough. You get to the tail end of matches like this, and it
Yes.
becomes tough to hit quality lobs. You start being
question.
more concerned with not missing, and you just kind of scrape balls back.
No question. Not
There's
only
another
that,
nick.
not
Another
only
great
that.
volley from Ben on the
Yep,
coverage.
especially at a match point, which is where we're at right now. For those of you who are just tuning in now, and there are some of you maybe. Tough. Like the fake there. Oh, he's quick.
Oh, that could be a problem. Nice,
Picked it up.
great pick.
Good
Oh,
lord.
put some real arc on
I
these
know,
lobs
wow.
now, guys.
Another one. Oh, he
Oh,
got
he
it.
made
He
it
got
work.
it.
Can he recover? He can.
Unbelievable. Just serious reflexes. Unbelievable lob. Nice touch.
Oh, he made it.
Oh, you have to be kidding. Unbelievable. How does that happen? But you know what? What a great point up to that point.
Wow.
Back to deuce.
This is where I think you start to get, like, I would argue that it's one of those matches where Pete and Ben have had like 8 let cords
Yeah.
go their way,
Yeah.
and Scott and Andrew have had 0.
Right.
Like you start to be like, really?
Yeah. It's the
Oh,
old,
good
what a
coverage.
ga-
Nice try.
Yeah, it's almost, what are they?
Right.
I mean, I remember Harry Carey talking about God wants the Cubs to win
God
the pennant.
wants the Cubs to win.
So it's not, I don't think that's the case, but I don't want to speak
Ooh,
for
that's
the
a
Lord.
great serve. Oh man,
He got
Ben
it back.
just read that early.
Sure did. And by the way, this is break
Little
point.
short. Yeah, break point opportunity here. That's a good rip. Real solid volleys. No.
Good leave.
No, yeah.
It's almost funny. When he gets up in his strike zone, sometimes it's actually more of a problem for him. When he gets it somewhere waist level or below, it's a big problem. He can rip the crap out of it, but hopefully crap's not a profane word right there.
Quick swing there with two
Throw me off the air for that
2
too.
points.
Another match point here.
Oh, that's gonna
Volley.
be a tough volley. Oh, what a pick!
I know.
Yep.
Gonna be trouble. He's there.
This is I mean, Scott and Andrew are making all the right decisions,
No question. It's gonna arc in there.
and Pete and Ben, through sheer force of will,
I know exactly.
are just
Exactly.
coming up with everything.
Will not go away. They will not go away.
There's the switch again. Yep. Just such fantastic lobs.
Oh, what a shot.
He's there.
Oh,
He
what
made it
a
work.
recovery.
He's there. Very, yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep, another transition. Right back in action. And now the toughest part of the game, to slow down
Yes.
after you've
Right,
had
exactly.
a sequence of shots like this, where you just have to chill out and
How
be
many
like,
nicks
okay,
do
well,
you need in a row here?
if they hit a good lob, we just have to
Yep.
relax. That's disgusting.
Unbelievable.
That's just filthy after that series to be back at deuce with a heavy roller into the nick.
Wow.
You know?
Unbelievable. All right. So right back to deuce. I think J Love and
Oh,
Company.
that's such
it's
a great
move.
play.
I think J Love and Company will finish before these guys do. You watch.
That's interesting because that's what I was talking about earlier, and with the success that they had at like 5-2 with that move, I thought we were going to start seeing that more,
Yep.
and we did not.
Great lob. You can switch back and forth after that lob height.
It's good hands. What a great backhand
Was.
overhead
Was.
with
It's
Andrew creeping in on that ball.
Not an easy ball either.
Another thing that he was supposed, I mean, that's the right play. You
Yeah.
know, you see somebody going for a high backhand volley instead of an overhead, you move forward.
Yeah,
And
you're
the fact that
figuring
they're able to keep it away from him in that situation is
yeah, too good.
great play. This is another thing I tell people, never hit a high backhand volley instead of an overhead, but then that's tough ball right there.
Was.
What a great hold
I know.
to bring it to 5-all in this first of our series of paddle matches from the CPTC live stream.
Yes. And as I said, it's almost fortuitous.
What's your prediction here, Shauner? You think that we end up with a 7-5 first set or a breaker, or you think we're
It's
going
hard,
3?
at
What do
this
you
point,
think?
it's hard to bet against McKnight and Rose. They've reeled off, what did they reel off, 5 games in a row?
Four games in a row. Yeah.
I mean, they've been hard-fought games, but I don't know. They seem to have a formula here.
It's working.
Yeah.
I would say that Pete and Ben would fall into that category where I know it's been said before. I know they like to win, but they hate losing.
Yeah, right.
they hate losing more than they like to win.
Right.
And so, you know, with everything on the line, they're just gonna figure out ways to scrape
Yep.
into matches.
I think you're right.
It's crazy.
I tell you what, I'll make this prediction. If they're able to pull the second set off, I'll
You would give it to him?
give it to him in the third, because I think that the momentum's going to be tough.
That's the one that
It's going to be
that
too
just
tough.
came out too far.
It's just sometimes when you get the steamroller going, it's a little too tough not to try to reverse direction on it. It's very difficult to do. I mean, that'll be, if they're able to win, let's say 7-5 or something. It's you know, how many games in a row is that going to be? And it's difficult to stem the tide sometimes. Now, with another set, you could say it would be a new ball. You got new outlook. It's, you know, your adrenaline's not pumping as much.
Yeah.
But
I
don't
would
know.
be surprised here if we didn't see a breaker
I
for the
see.
second set. I think. I think
I like
it's
your
just so
attitude.
difficult to win, you know, 6 games in a row like
Yes,
that.
That's a good point.
Not impossible. I mean, clearly they're doing great
Yep.
with 4, but I think that's just in the world of paddle, so incredibly difficult to do. Oh, that's
Great
another.
shot.
So you started to see those last 2 drives that Andrew won points on. He started to put a little more heat on them. Take him
did.
early, peek of the bounce.
He did.
He's
no
getting
question.
a direct angle like down into the court
Yep.
with those last couple shots, which is a big difference maker.
Totally. Well, you said it yourself. If you're not getting deep overheads, you're going to get a chance to drive a lot more, especially off the deck, and especially on the rise like that. So, uncharacteristic error there from Scott. Usually doesn't miss those. 15-30 though.
He's just only going to allow himself that one error in this game, I can tell. Nice.
I was kind of expecting a little more confrontational drive from Andrew there. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you may as well. You know, you.
Yeah, I get you.
He's a guest here. He feels like he has to behave himself, but I don't know. Again,
Yeah, just go. I mean,
the alley is just basically his domain there, Mr. Rose. What a get.
You know, I will say that I feel like Pete and Ben through the entire match have been more aggressive with their overhead targets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they might not be hitting stuff super hard or super crazy amount of spin. Like, Andrew's putting a lot of spin on his overhead,
yep.
but Pete and Ben are hitting a nick
Yes.
every single point. Like,
Yep.
like somebody is having to dig out, you know, a ball that's going right into the corner
Yeah, no, there's no question about it.
all the time. And they
Matter of
definitely play with thinner margins on their angles. You'll see a lot more balls hit the alley, you know.
Way to handle it. But the other thing is that it'd be nice if we did have a stat like that. Maybe that's something we can get Cal to do.
The nick counter.
Yeah.
We'll get him a clicker.
Nice.
You know who could probably tell us is Alexa, because it's listening to everything we do all the time. So it could just count how
Every
many
time we
times we've
say
said
Nick.
Nick.
Yes. What a get. Oh, you're kidding. You're kidding. You
Oh
are
my
joking.
gosh.
Come on, get serious.
Yeah,
What a
look
shot.
at that move.
Come on. All right, most of the time we don't need the
That, however, is
instant
a
replay.
bit deflating.
Yeah, that was, yeah. Got a little grunt there from Scott on that return. There we go. A little more pace, but it doesn't seem to matter. These guys don't seem to care. Oh.
It's tough.
Yeah, here we go.
All right.
All right, 6-5.
You might have called this here. I mean, then again, they've been needing to hold. Now this is Scott's serve, though. So he'll be serving for it. Yeah. And this way you keep your rhythm going. But they just stem the tide. Maybe you called it. Maybe it would be. But you mentioned a tiebreaker. Let's just see what happens. Because that is a little deflating. It would have been nice. Of course, it's always nice to win another game, but it would have been nice for McKnight and Rose to win that.
Yeah, I'm good.
I like that idea. That's a veteran move by Scott. See what he just did? He asked if the courts were dry enough when they could turn off the heaters. And what that does is it changes. I mean, I'm not saying it's against the rules because he's absolutely right, but it changes the dynamic a little bit. When you're out there and you're hearing the heaters, it's a little different. And then when you're not,
Just such a veteran maneuver.
it is.
you
It
got.
is. Watch him win the game this way.
Yeah, let's see what happens here, because he's been giving up the net on his serve to the deuce side in particular. So
Yeah.
let's see what. Yeah,
He did here too.
he's gonna stay back. He's not gonna make the error on the volley. That is a rare
It was close.
wide miss.
But I
from
think
Scott.
it was wide, yes. So, love 15. No way.
Oh no! Saw that coming. Yep.
That's a crazy pick by Scott Mansinger, by the way.
When the way that came off of Andrew's paddle, I thought that he pushed it long.
You know
But
what?
it
Me
came- it
too.
came
but
down.
It did.
I was like, oh no, he had a great opportunity. I thought he had missed it, but just a weird angle, I guess.
Good
Yeah,
hands.
nice hands. See, that's what I'm talking about in terms of good play. What a volley.
Yeah.
And a nick
Oh, he gets a
again.
nick.
Oh,
Rose
man.
just coming
That
up with
is
the goods.
Just brutal.
Unbelievable.
But that's kind of what I'm talking about in the difference of the overheads, right? Like, you've got Andrew being more aggressive with the way he's swinging, but it's not necessarily translating into better offense.
No.
You know, like
Great
that
point.
one was, you know, Ben was waiting for that ball to spin into his strike zone.
No, absolutely. So love 30. Let's see if he can. What a return! He's there with it.
Look at that,
What
yeah.
an incredible return, man! That was
That
just
was just a
stung.
laser beam. You get the impression as well that Scott has really been trying to mess with that rhythm a little bit because it's almost like Pete is waiting for him to fully commit to the volley, and then he's just crushing it.
Yep.
He's like, well, if you're going to get in there, then I'm going to really put something on you that's heavy. Oh, that's a ball that Ben likes. He maybe feels like he forced it a little bit because it didn't come off the side screen high.
Yep. Still an opportunity for a break to get into a breaker, which will make you even more like a genius coach.
Solid transition there. Couple of backhand drives from Scott that he's kind of pulling out at this point.
It's in there.
It's working.
Good leave.
That's a tough ball to spin on.
Yep, and keep in.
And
In this
convert.
weather, for sure. All right, 30-40. This young leg's getting down there like Johnny Bench right there. The hell, I wouldn't be able to get up.
He's able to get low still. Good for him.
Oh. You know, you gotta give it to Ben McKnight, man. Going after that return like that.
I mean, yeah.
At that
you
point,
know,
like,
I mean, I don't see.
Why not?
It's,
you know, and he didn't mix it by much, man. You know, that's exactly what we were talking about earlier, where you can't just.
I think he's gonna
lay
stick
off.
with what. I think they're gonna stick with what got him here.
Yep.
Nice
Oh,
shot.
he's there
Good
with a
pick
shot.
again.
He is just quick. What a shot.
Uh-oh. Nice volley. Pete's so good as well at that kind of retreating volley, where he gives himself a little extra space, a little more reaction time, and then
What
still.
a
Wow.
shot.
That is
Unbelievable.
nuts.
He didn't even use two hands on that one. He just took that on the rise with
No,
one hand.
such a quick move.
Okay, Roger.
Third match point.
Third match
Exactly.
point.
Way to keep track, Cal.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Cal. Appreciate it.
Hey, you better recognize.
Oh, smart. Ben is like, well, I've been swinging at these. I'm just going to lace this one in there.
Yeah, why not?
Yep. Sneaky. Sneaky good.
Look at the chip.
Get there. Yep. Good hands.
Lob. This has to be like a long point. Like any
I
match
mean, you
point
would
at this
assume
point.
so.
At this point,
This is
any
where
match
these
point.
points, they just become just such
What
a
a
war
lob.
of attrition.
Oh,
What a
good
great
lob.
dig.
Oh,
Flexed it. No. What a
Unbelievable
great
match.
match.
unbelievable.
6-3,
Start
7-5. Scott and Andrew taking it.
Unbelievable match. I mean, we
Getting
can't
the
start.
Winnetka
How do we
team
follow this?
An early victory.
I don't know how you
I
follow
don't know. I
that.
say we quit. Let's
That's
pack it up
it's
till
over.
2024.
Good night, everybody. It's over. We can't do better than that. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure. Well, we'll just see next week if we can.
Yeah, no, we'll give it a shot. And we'll give it a shot. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for joining us for our first
Yes.
Chicago league night of paddle night in Chicago here on the North Shore. This was a good one to start with. Thanks for joining me, Shauner. Cal,
Hey, it's my
with your
pleasure.
help, as always.
Yes.
Crawling under the deck, fixing cameras, saving baby raccoons. Cal Noble. All right, you guys, we will catch you next week. Keep an eye on the
Absolutely.
website, and we'll keep getting email blasts out in advance of what the match schedule is going to be as we work our way through it.
Yep.
And we'll also be, what do we got coming up tournament-wise? We got the I-355 in a few weeks.
That's right.
A few short weeks, and we've got Chicago Charities immediately after that. Quick turnaround on that one,
Awesome.
and then we're right back. We're right back in it for the leagues through the first half of the year. So nothing but paddle coming at you.